Hello, everybody, and welcome to Triton-Cup 144. My name is Matt, and I'm here with Moku, and we will be your commentators for the first half of this Triton-Cup. Starting off, we have Izo versus, oh my god, bro, and very interesting rosters we see on both sides, and I think starting off, we're going to be seeing a pretty back-to-back set here.
And these are some pretty good maps and modes too. You've got the bread and butter, the steak and potatoes, and the entree of Triton-Cup right here in this set.
That's a great way to put it.
Exactly, it's a whole menu of food just right here in front of me. It's especially better since you've got Robo Ramen right in front of us. I just had some ramen, but I could really use the real deal, like not just cup ramen. I'm talking authentic ramen.
Yeah. We got pretty much three staples of zones maps we always see, starting Umami, then going into Robo, and then finishing off with Haggle. Three maps that you basically always see when coming into tournaments, especially zones only tournaments. So it's very interesting how these teams have practiced these maps. I mean, these are very common, so these teams have probably played on these maps hundreds of times. So it's time to put that all to the test. I mean, which team is just gonna know it better? I mean, that's what it kind of comes down here. But as we're waiting for these teams to get their weapons and start the game, Moku, what do you think they might be running here?
I'm not too sure, but I think on the side of OMG, I think we're going to have Double Brush. Ty and Ray are on that team, and both of them are pretty good Brush players. I have not fought alongside them before, but I really want to. And we've got SM Galactic on the other team. I can't remember what he runs, but according to his Sendo profile, it's 52 gal, Fluttershot, and Flash Traumatic. So, but
See some double brush action. That'd be exciting.
yeah, I would love to see that again. And you were just talking to me about Anarchy Nova having double brush. Blossom Blizzard, my team, had to run that.
I was very confused. A couple weeks ago, we had Anarchy Nova 3, and I had the honor of commentating over Moku's team, and watching them run double Ink Brush was a very interesting matchup. So I would be very surprised if I see it again. But yeah, I mean, we are, I do hear there was a voice in my head telling me we are having technical issues. So while the teams are playing out their matches, I just want to we have, starting off with Umami, I mean, in my opinion, definitely an interesting map here, but there we go. Okay, there we go. We have Grand Final Time. We got everything's out already. We have two down on one of the sides here, but we do see a lot of scrapping happening in mid.
And map control for I can't see there. Oh wait a minute. There we go. OMG's got the map control and the lead right now with the Kraken cheese out here, and it's good stereo denial, but the cheese is gone, and Zone goes back to neutral.
We see the members of Izo really trying to move in here, using that back to their advantage, but we do see the Octobrush on that flank, able to get two of them. But Izo is still able to cap the zone, applying a little bit more pressure, giving Oh My God Bro a little bit more time to move in, a little bit more space to utilize. But the members of Izo have been able to cap the zone. They got the heavy out of the way. Really good pick, making sure they can limit how much paint they have across the board. And they just want to maintain these zones. But we do see that one zone cap there. Brush try to get whatever they can, but unable to. But we do see the Dapples able to get a lot of picks, just leaving one member down on the side of Izo. And Oh My God is able to move in and take back that zone.
Moving in, indeed. They are putting on that pressure, and one of them going down on top mid with Dipcaster coming out and putting some pressure on this pen down here on the lower right-hand corner. Zone is back in neutral. We've got an 11-point difference between the two teams as Izo is trying to take it back, but OMG, they're determined to keep their lead here. Actually, no, yeah, it's the lead. Post
We do
launch
see
Sean clearly.
these non-stop fights happening mid. There goes that Reef Slaughter, unable to get anyone, but we do see that the penalty count go down, and the members of ISO have to get a push online if they want to at least cap one of these zones. We see the leader able to get a pick off of the Julies. That's going to be crucial, limiting how much aggression Oh My God has. They have that weight breaker, they have the tacticaler, they are ready to go. They have everything in full effect. They need to cap this zone, but the Kraken comes out there. Pen goes down as they're trying to cap this zone. There goes the heavy, but it looks like ISO is able to take that zone back and apply a huge penalty onto the side of Oh My God. And ISO really wants to push in. They really want all the aggression. They want to lock them out, and they are doing a great job. The dualies are out of the way, and this is a chance for them to take as much control and lock out the enemy team.
The zone's a neutral, and now we have control for ISO's team. ISO is currently in possession of zone right now. Leaders being a great anchor for their team. I just want to say, they're very coordinated, and but they go down to gold on the Snipe Rider.
And right here we see the members of Oh My God trying to move in. The dualies are behind them, painting those zones, making sure they can apply a pretty good penalty here, giving ISO a 37 penalty. And the members of ISO forced to be back on that defense. They have the back ready, they have some resources online, but Oh My God is doing a great chance on defense. And as I say there, the Dapples goes down there. But we do see the Kraken come out there, able to get one and able to get two, leaving just the leader alive, forced to just back up there. And the members of Oh My God has control. They have just a minute left, and they can run down that penalty. And if they can just lock him out, they can get the KO here.
I'm loving the positioning that Ray has with the brush, making sure nobody goes down here in the pit, but they may be a little bit out of position here. So you cannot really, I don't know. I had my words, but then they disappeared. But
we see the members of ISO trying to clear that zone, but even with that, leaving just the leader alive, and Oh My God is going to be taking game one. And I mean, we saw a lot of scrapping happening, and especially in the useless area, we saw how well the Octobrush was utilizing all of that space to move around and able to shark him out. I mean, in that last push, they were able to not just get one pick, but also apply a lot of damage onto the members of ISO, putting them at a little bit at a disadvantage as the Dapples were moving in, the heavy were moving in. Everything that could really put a bunch of pressure on was in for the favor of Oh My God, and they take game one. And ISO now on the back end going into Robo Ramen.
I could use some ramen right now. I already had some, but I mean like the authentic stuff, like I was saying earlier. What I was trying to say about Ray was I liked their positioning. It's just in another scenario I would have thought that it was a little bit out of position, because people like to go down into that pit to make a flank, and you cannot underestimate that risk. You saw it that there were like two other teammates, opposing ones, just gunning it behind their back, and Ray managed to see it. But I'm not here to judge people's plays. I just wanted to put that out there because that's what I wanted to say. And it's kind of weird. I have lunch, but if I eat too close to commentary, my mind just keeps acting like I didn't eat.
Yeah, I can guess
I get fuzzy after that. I don't know why.
Going on, I mean, Robo Ramen is just one of those maps that it's very easy to get locked out on. So both of these teams have to be extremely cautious with what they do here. We do see a bit of a comp change. We actually see the ink brush coming out from Ray on the side of Oh My God. And immediately I can see that ink line moving actually behind ISO, and I don't think they notice them.
Oh, that's right. Ray was going for it like a little rat, but getting caught out. And OMG having the lead right now. Not a big lead switch, but an early one, and one that matters. But look at all this. We got the core coming out. Park's going down too. SM Galactic on the end zap. Skaboop going down. Clearing it out. Getting caught out by Gold on the pencil. But, oh, what is this rat Zipcaster over there? pretty good job. I like the vision.
We see Iso get that cap onto the zone. It's still going to be a little bit loose, but they are able to get it. Wavebreaker goes out. There goes that vac. Trying to limit how much, oh my god, can move around. They want to get this lockup, but they don't have the space to play a full knockout. But we do see Ray on the flank, able to get two with a hammer. And going for a third, we see the Stamper get taken out, and the vac and the Gal forced to back up there. But oh my god, able to take that zone and now apply that really hard lockout that a lot of teams have trouble coming back from. So the question is, how will Iso respond to that?
That's a good question. We got 52 Gal over here on the right side trying to take up some space and paint for special. We've got Zach? We got Vac online. Imagine. It was like, fine. I was gonna say, imagine if that wasn't Vac.
We do see a lot of trading happening on the board. We see that Presser able to get another sneaky pick. 2 down on the side of Iso, and oh my god, is able to keep up this pressure on the zone. Ray's doing a great job of just being a nuisance to them. There goes that back. There goes the cooler. But they aren't able to get any picks from the brush, and they are able to cap the zone.
Wait.
But can they take it? No, they can't take it.
Wait,
oh my
what?
god, he's still putting over the zone, but they do get it back in their favor. Iso barely caps the zone with, oh my god, left with the 3-point. With a 66 front of C, there goes that Resletter. Able to force the members of Iso to back up, but oh my god, was able to take it back and now has to work through their penalty if they want a KO.
Indeed they will, and I love the positioning here on this E-Leader. Not managing to get any picks right now, but clearing out space. If you've got a good anchor that has a terrifying presence, then look no further than this. Look no further than the E-Leader that we have. I do not know how to pronounce your name. I do apologize. I wish I could read Japanese.
We see the leader even taking a very aggressive position, trying to move onto their plat. Inkbrush goes down. They know that Inkbrush is going to flank, and they're going to be adapting to it. Parks in that Kraken trying to get whatever picks that they can. The members of Oh My God able to cap the zone. There goes that Resletter, unable to get the pick off of the E-Leader, forced to back up here. But the back goes out, but he's alone, and the hammer's on him. He has to outrun that hammer. But it looks like he can, and the hammer takes him out. 2 down on the side of Iso, and oh my god, still keeping up that pressure as they're working through that penalty to go down on their side. They have that cooler. They are set up for the KO, and Iso has to cap the zone soon.
Oh, I love how, Ray, I love the fact that you were radding with it and getting SM Galactic on the way out. It was a good trade, and both teams, your team benefited from it. I'm just gonna say,
this is a good both teams really scrapping for the zone there. That Inkbrush whatever he can to paint it over, but no, Iso flips it over just in time. But the Stamper gets taken out, so it is gonna be a loose hold. The members of Oh My God trying to paint it. The Zap going up there to try to take care, and they get the pick off of gold, and they're forced to fight that brush, and they are able to get them, and they are able to get the pick off of the heavy applying that aura. And Iso keeping it up. Their penalty is gone, but there's 2 down on the side of Oh My God, and all of a sudden this is flipped for Iso.
Indeed it is. With no more penalty points to have to work through, OMG will have to come out really soon and do something about it. Ray is out here kind of out of position low-key, but it's still a good idea to rat around there. SM Galactic managing to get that pick on them. And despite the Reef Slider coming out, the Shark was a little bit too late as the game goes to Iso.
And I mean, wow. We saw how fast Oh My God was able to get their point down so low, but Iso still not giving it up until the end, and in these last 30 seconds able to get that KO, and now bringing them to a game 3. And now I really don't even know who has the upper advantage here. Both of these teams have been super level-headed this entire time, and it's up to this haggle match to decide who is going to go on in this bracket and who is going to get sent into losers. And this is only the beginning. This is only the first match. This is only the first round of this tournament.
It really is. It's only the first round, and like you said, and we're already going to a game 3. This is really exciting. I wish I had a little bit more focus to really say all that I wanted to say. I don't get what it is. It's like I have lunch and I should be focused, but it's like I'm so focused on digestion that I can't figure out what to do with with my analysis, you know?
I mean, going in here, this is going to be definitely a heated matchup. We see how both of these teams are able to KO on each other, so we know these teams are very similar in skill level, and it comes down to this final hackle game to decide it. But I mean, we saw how well Iso was able to adapt to the brush. I mean, Ray was giving Iso a lot of work, and they were able to adapt super quickly to it. So the question is, are they going to use that knowledge and get this KO? And oh my god, bro, but are they going to change it up? We do see the Octobrush coming back out from this side of oh my god, and this is going to be a very interesting map here.
Yep, seeing some comp changes on both sides here, and I want to say the V Heavy's new. Ray's out here on the Octobrush, like you were saying. I really like the gameplay. I
mean, right away, we saw how, oh my god, had the zone for a second, but we do see it flipping back here. That Kraken force, but unable to do a lot with it, as we do see the Dualies just rolling around, trying to get whatever pick that they can here. Able to take actually able to take out two of them, which is going to put a lot more pressure onto Iso. But no, the Dualies quickly get dealt with, and Iso still keeps that zone, even though it's going to be a little bit of a loose hold.
Right now, Iso is in the lead with no penalty points at all. So with all the ticks, with all the points ticking down, Iso will have to keep that zone, and they don't manage to, with 39 more penalty points to their name, as OMG can finally get some points on the board just in time, with Kraken Cheese coming into base and a good jump out for their CPU gal.
They are forced. Ray gets taken out there, which is going to give Iso a little bit of an opening. There goes that back. There goes that cooler. They're ready for this push. They're pushing far, and they have the stamper on that zip, but the zip gets taken out there. They are able to cap the zone and take it. Just with a 3-point lead online for oh my god. Iso trying to clean up that zone, but the brush able to get the pick onto the side there. But the follow-up coming in there, 2 down on the side of oh my god, and Iso has that zone, forcing the members of oh my god back.
Indeed, and with V Heavy Parks out here, being the anchor that they are, I love how a good anchor can strike fear into the hearts of the other team and provide area denial unless you have a brush that can flank them or an fact that can take them out right then and there. 52 gal meta, where you at? Honestly, you can't tell me otherwise. There is a 52 gal meta right now. But aside from that, we've got a good hold over the zone on the side of Iso. And OMG will have to mount a good push if they want to get out. We are currently at a 3v3.
We do see Iso taking lead. They have cooler route, but we do see that Kraken coming out from oh my god. They want to apply pressure, give their teammates an opening, but the Kraken isn't going to get any value from it though. We see them, all of the members moving in here. There goes that back though. That's going to be huge.
Ooh.
Just completely shutting down all that paint onto zone. And still able to help take out that Octobrush. The members of, oh my god, they're trying to paint when the reset that comes in there, but it's not enough to cap the zone, and the members of Iso still pinning over, and they are able to cap the zone there, and just barely hanging on, take the KO, and on the verge of defeat, Iso comes back for a 2-1 win.
Now that was really scrappy at the very end. I was so sure that OMG, bro, would have had the win, but because they had the reef slider, they just had the paint, but I guess the size disadvantage was there.
You know, when you have to commentate over a team called oh my god, it sounds like you're the biggest hater out of context. I don't know if it's just me, but it sounds like I'm going, oh my god, they have the zone. Like, it just sounds like I'm the biggest hater on the planet. But no, it's just their team name. But wow, I mean, we saw how oh my god had so much going for them in that first game. And even when they were down to three ticks on game 2, Iso was able to come back in the last 30 seconds and take the game. And they knew going into game 3 that this team was winnable and they had a chance of winning it, and they were able to come up on top there, even with, oh my god, having so much aggression, especially with the brush, with the dualies. They were still able to adapt and deal with it all and take that game 3. And now moving on in that bracket, but I mean, we just started and we're getting these close game 3 matches. We just started. But without further ado, we are going to take a very short break as our next 2 teams are getting into the room. So we'll be right back.
Get your Tacticans out and your ramen. We are about to get right back into it. We are now going to see what Pink Matter versus Buns is doing. And I keep thinking it's Buns because, shout out to anybody who watched Ruby because, you know, just like you had Team Juniper and Ruby. And what do you think about this, Matt?
Yeah, pretty much. Moving on here, we're seeing a lot of ramen. We have been seeing a lot of ramen, and that's going to be what we're starting on game 1 of our round 2 bracket. We're starting Robo Ramen, then going on to Chip Shape, and then on to Mako Mart. So
I really...
very
Sorry.
Nope,
I'm so sorry, I did not mean to interrupt.
No, that's okay.
I'm gonna say all 3 of those maps and modes, well, 2 of them look good. The one with the cargo did not really, it doesn't appeal to me, but here we are, Robo Ramen, the bread and butter of Triton-Cup, or the steak and potatoes. Whatever you put in your ramen, all good. And I think the comps are pretty interesting. Would you say that they're well-rounded?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a second since I've seen the Tri-Strike Charger come out there, but we do see the side of BN making quick work, while that S-Class able to get a very sneaky pick, and now 2 down, and now another down, and Pink Matter keeping up that zone, able to get another one for that trade, and the members of Pink Matter quickly with another pick. Pink Matter is quickly moving into a huge lockout position. We see that S-Class get taken out there. The Charger forced it back up a little bit, and the S-Class on the side of Pink Matter has just been really getting these crucial picks, allowing their teammates the chance to move in and take as much space as possible.
Oh, but it seems like their ZNF Charger has been put on the back foot, even though we're going to get a pick with that Tri-Strike and attempt to get another one right over here. It seems as though they have been pushed back, but we get a wipeout. Nice.
We do see the wipeout coming in here. BN now has control. Now they're in the exact same position Pink Matter was just in, and now Pink Matter on the back end of it, they're going to get forced to really have a strong retake here. There goes that Tacticooler. The Blaster looking for the opening. There goes that back. They're ready. The Ink Strike's out. Not going to be doing a lot for them. As we do see them moving in for that splashdown, they are able to cap the zone. Still keeping that lead strong as the decap able to take out the shot on the plat, and 2 down on the side of BN, and Pink Matter moving back in for that lockout. They're in their spaces and they're looking to just create as much of a disturbance as possible, able to get these really crucial picks.
Daniel moving in with that 52 gal, getting a pick on one of them and avoiding anything that the team has been throwing out at them on the side of Buns. Pink Matter is going in. They have their s'mores ready. Ooh, getting caught out by not 1, not 2, but 3 people making that pinch. Collapsing in on the zone and getting it for themselves, applying penalty points to Pink Matter and saving the game.
Able to give the side of Pink Matter a pretty big penalty here. BN looking for it. Their penalty getting pretty low there. Able to get the pick off of the decap is crazy. But we do see that bubble coming out there, and they are able to flip that zone back. 2 down on the side of BN. We see that back coming out there. The Zap trying to do whatever they can to deal with it, but gonna get forced to back up here, leaving just that back onto the zone there, but they are able to cap it again, giving themselves a little bit more time to work with. But we do see 2 going down on the side of Pink Matter, and this is a chance. BN needs to take this zone here, and they need to get a lockout going if they want to take this game. But there goes Azuka as well. They want to get the picks. 2 down on the side of Pink Matter. They're going to get forced to back up here. BN has to take this lockout position, and they have the aura to do so.
Whoa! We see Booples out here getting 2 of them, 2 picks for Daniel and Satna, or Saturna, or I can't read the names from this far, but I think this is, anyways, Mint Decaf scares me as a brush. Bubbler's online. I wonder where we're going to put Bubbler. We're going to put it right there. An excellent place to put Bubbler, but you get caught out by the end zap.
We do see multiple down on the side of Pink Matter, and BN is looking for this KO. They have the Booyah. They're trying to paint the zone. They do get the cap, but the strikes come in, able to clean it up just before Pink Matter could take it. And Pink Matter, I mean, we saw how strong their start was, able to take the zone right away, getting all the way down to 29. But BN coming back for the KO, and I mean, in my opinion, their special placement was just perfect for them in those final moments. They had the Booyah Bomb down, and the cherry on top, the Tri-Strikes just to help them cap the zone, taking game 1 and forcing Pink Matter to really have to think of a new strategy if they want to take this set.
I agree with you, because this was a really close battle. Pink Matter almost had it, but Buns was out here with more paint, and I've got to say, that 52 gal was really ratty. And as a rat brush over here in the commentator's booth, I see you, and I love that. I love that idea. And something I want to talk about the maps here. There's only 2 maps that I like here. It's Zones Mako and Zones Robo Ramen. Here's the way I look at maps sometimes, right? It's not just the visual appeal. It's not just the visual appeal. I've played it all so much before. I can sometimes look at a map and mode and go, that doesn't taste good. Because it's like, that's not the steak, like, that might be a staple, but it's more like, people like coleslaw, but that's what,
Ew.
I don't,
It looks coleslaw.
I don't
I don't feel like anybody likes coleslaw.
Because I'm gonna say zone.
My roommate peeps up from his activities to go, I like coleslaw. No, you don't. You're not allowed. No.
I was gonna say, this map and mode right here. This map and mode right here.
This is
reminds
the
me of coleslaw.
Splatoon.
Yeah, it tastes like coleslaw. I don't like it.
I mean, just like Robo, it's a very lockout forced map. So both
but
of these
Robo Ramen
teams
tastes good.
Yeah,
Robo
true.
Ramen tastes good as a map and mode.
True. But I mean, just like Robo, both of these maps super lockout based, and we saw how well both of these teams were able to lock out. So it's going to be up to really who's going to get these first movements. But immediately, 2 down on the side of BN and the decap making quick work. That back's going to be coming in there, giving Pink Matter a lot of space to move around here. They have the cooler. There goes that back. Not able to really do much, but still applying a lot of pressure as the decap able to get 2 picks there. 2 down on the side of BN and Pink Matter. taking it into their own hands, trying to get this lockout online, and they're just getting these crucial picks, giving them all of the space to work with.
Matter holding it down, and we can see the Trizuka coming out here and pushing them back. We see Buns out here trying to get back in. We've got a non-capping Booyah Bomb, but we've got Tri-Strikes, which could cap the zone, and it barely does, but we have time to save the game. But it seems like the paint just can't be painted.
But the zap goes down. The Gal takes out the zap. They're still fighting for the zone. The cooler goes out there, and they are able to cap the zone. Pink Matter still keeping their points up. The decap doing whatever they can to keep them back, and it's just a straight for the zone here. They are able to cap it, but we do see 2 down on their side. The decap doing whatever they can. The shot stuck in the corner, painting it, but it looks like they do cap the zone just in time and riding it for that KO. And Pink Matter takes a very fast game 2. And that's going to be another game 3, Moku.
Unbelievable. I thought that Buns was going to have another chance at getting the zone, and I don't know what okay, so you're Saturn. Got it. Okay. I apologize for butchering the name before. Me when I can't read tiny text. I need to see a VOD review from all angles of that match. I feel like it should have been a little bit more scrappy in zone, but maybe somebody was getting flanked somewhere by a rat. Who knows?
Yeah. But I mean,
might have been a couple rats.
But going in for this game 3, again, it's anyone's game. I mean, we're just starting we're just 2 rounds in, and we're already seeing incredibly close matchups of players. A lot of mid and high level players playing this Triton-Cup, and I mean, this is something you see every week, but it's been a second since I've seen such close matches so early on into the tournament. And for these 2 teams, it's going to be up to Mako, and whoever wins this is going to be moving on to winner semifinals. So that's where it really gets intense.
Exactly, and I want to see the seeds right now. So, Buns and Pink Matter are seed 25 and seed 24, so we've got similar seeds right now, but it doesn't make the game any less impressive. Even if the seeds are lower, you never know. There can always be an upset. Like, I want to see either one of these teams in grand finals.
But yeah, we're finally on a map that's a little bit less stally, and I mean, both teams have a lot of space to move around. We saw previously in the last 2, I mean, Robo and Shipshape are maps where it's very easy to get snowballed and locked out. But on Mako, it's a little bit more even. You have an extra side to move around. So the question is, which team is going to be utilizing the most? I mean, that's so much open space where not only you can move, but also you can charge up your special a lot. So both of these teams, I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot more specials out from both of these teams, and I feel like we're going to be seeing some back-to-back fights happening over mid. I mean, this zone, at least in my opinion, is a little bit of a pain to cap just because of that pillow in the middle. So these teams are going to be forced to move around and adapt to it at all means necessary. Actually, the game has already started here, and we do see a lot happening onto the map here. We see immediately all of these picks going on, and we do see the members of BN trying to cap this zone.
Yeah, but it's really scrappy in mid right now with nobody getting the zone. Both of them are fighting for it. We've got it leaning towards Pink Matter, but they finally get the zone after a scrappy less than a minute.
We do see the members of, I believe, Pink Matter taking control. They have the picks, but no, the members of BN are quick to move. They have the bubble, they have the back, they have the control they need. They can cap the zone here, and they do so. We see Saturn with that splashdown taking a very aggressive position, able to get another pick before being taken out by the S-Blast. But Pink Matter has that first control of the zone. There goes the strikes. They gotta paint over them. They gotta keep this control. The zone does cap, but they're able to switch it back. They have the cooler down. They're ready to take aggressive positions while the members of BN are forced to really move around.
Indeed, they are. Buns will have to figure out a way in because they're all looking over the ledges, looking to punish, like the wiper down there, the mint decaf, just being a guard dog, which as you should be. I mean, those are a really scary weapon. Not even letting Buns through. Pink Matter knows how to guard for space.
We see that decap trying to get the pick. We do see the trade coming online. Pink Matter still has a decent hold onto the zone, but they're 2 down, giving BN the chance that they need. There goes that cooler. They have what they need to cap that zone. And just barely, I mean, both of these teams scrapping for that zone, forced to play on these stacks here. We do see the zap go down there. There goes that Zuka, able to absorb the Zuka shots from the back. But we see all these teams just going back to back. I mean, so much paint has been flying across the map here. We see the shot trying to get whatever picks that they can there before being taken out there. But it does look like BN has a bit of a control over the map.
What I want to say is that both teams do have a bit of a tendency to stagger. I've been seeing some staggering a little bit from both sides, which is really interesting to see because usually you only see it from one team. And I think Buns is about to take the lead switch here, Matt.
We do see that lead switch going for BN. They have that lockout. They have the space that they need here, but the members of Pink Matter are quick to try to move in there. But the shark coming in from this app, able to take him out. That's going to be a crucial pick for them. Down into the 10s now. They don't have too much time to move. Pink Matter has to think of something, and they have to move now, but the gal goes down there. They have the cooler. They have everything they need. And with that bubble, this splash shot comes in there. They are able to take this zone. Just barely keeping in the game in Pink Matter. Saving it, giving a 70 penalty to BN. But the members of Pink Matter are going to be quick. They don't have a very hard control over the zone. BN is quick to move on it. They want to cap this zone as fast as possible. That penalty is going to really make a huge impact here. And BN is able to take the zone, and they have to move through that huge penalty if they want to win this game.
Saving the game from the jaws of defeat like that is a goated move. And now it's Buns' turn to make sure that nobody else gets in. But I might have spoken too soon because Pink Matter is already making their way in here. With a splashdown at the ready, they can take the zone back anytime, but they don't aim for the zone. They aim for 2 members of Buns down there and not being able to get those picks. With ZNF Charger making sure nobody gets past them. Pink Matter is trying to gun for it.
I mean, it comes down to this. The Booyah Bomb comes out there. This is Pink Matter's last chance to move in there. There goes that decaf. They have to paint as much as they can there. They can't cap the zone, and Buns takes game 3. And I mean, and Pink Matter really was so quick to move. They almost had it. They were able to cap the zone at 2, but they just didn't have enough time to move in. And BN taking game 3.
That was excellent work on both teams. I was kind of thinking Pink Matter was going to take it. They had a strong hold at first, and it seems like they have a little bit more paint, but what would you say? Was it like a comp thing, or do you think it was the staggering issue I was pointing out earlier that both teams kind of had?
Yeah, pretty much, but I mean, both of these teams, I mean, I expected it. I knew this match was going to be close going into it. Both of those teams just non-stop painting for that zone there. But in the end, BN was able to come out on top, even with the amount of pressure Pink Matter was applying at. I mean, their aggression was great that match. But unfortunately, it wasn't able to hold up into the end. And BN taking game 3, putting them into winners semifinals, I believe. Round 3. Sorry, round 3. As we do have as we are waiting for our next match, which we have a lot more of a higher level player count coming in here, but we're going to be taking a quick break, and we'll be back for round 3 of Triton-Cup very shortly. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Triton-Cup 144. We have our round 3 matchups, which will decide who is going to be going on to winners semifinals. We have Bill Collectors up against Everything Goes Numb, and if you thought the last 2 sets had some really good players, well, you're in for a treat for this one, because a lot of these players are really talented players, to say the least. And now moving on to our best of 5 format with our counter breaks. We're going to be starting on Splat Zones, Barnacle, and Dime.
This is really exciting to see too, because we see Mondi on the other team. Mondi is a great player. We've also got QWQ and Henlo. It's a stack team on Everything Goes Numb, but that's not to say nothing for Bill Collectors, because Thorin is also pretty cool, and I wish I knew the other goats, but there are goats on both sides, so let's see who I'll go to.
Immediately, Everything Goes Numb, able to flip that zone, but the Wiper does go down there. But no, we see, I believe it was Brush, I think, or some Brush of the Blaster, able to get 3 on this side. Everything Goes Numb, and Bill Collectors able to take charge. They have the lockout they need. They have that lead, and they're quickly working their score down there. They have the Kraken. They have the Weight Breaker ready. There goes that Weight Breaker, making sure Everything Goes Numb kind of stays back a little bit. They have the Cooler. There goes that Cooler, but we do see a bomb go down there, and Logan's taken out by a bomb there. Another goes down there. But we do see the picks coming in left and right, and Bill Collector's still staying strong there. They have the zone, but we do see the hammer coming out there, the zone coming there, able to take the pick off of Henlo, and the Kraken coming in there, forcing Mondi to jump out. And Bill Collector still has control over the zone. They're in the 30s. QWQ was able to get 2 on that roller and cap that zone, and Everything Goes Numb is able to take the zone. But Bill Collector's a huge push for the start of the game.
This really was a huge push. 23 points this far and fast is no joke at all. But Everything Goes Numb had the size advantage to go in and take space. Now it's getting a little scrappy in base right now, and it's getting a little lockout heavy right now for Bill Collectors. Bill Collectors will have to find a way to sneak around and hope that no streets get checked for street passes, as we're seeing a jump being forced on Zog's side. Points are going down.
You see the splashdown. Mondi getting picked off by that splashdown, but the roller coming in there to keep that paint. But it's just that bow. But Everything Goes Numb is able to flip that lead into their favor. But Bill Collectors is quick on taking control. Not a huge lead, but that penalty is going to put a lot of pressure on both of these teams. And it's a scrap for the zone here. Both of these teams doing what they can to cap that zone there. We see the roller trying to find an opening to move in here. We see Bill Collectors doing whatever they can to get at least 1 pick onto the board, but the hammer is going to be coming in there, throwing them out of the way there. But their Wiper goes down, and this is Bill Collector's chance. They can take the zone here, but QWQ moving behind them to try to get the pick, unable to do so, and Bill Collectors has that zone flip.
Indeed, they do. This is a good zone cap and a good opportunity to take some space as QWQ goes down to Soren on the end zap. And it's a good opportunity to make sure you can put your s'mores up in the other team's base before they understand what is happening. Don't let them street check you. Don't let them check you in street for street passes. If you don't have any 3DSs, well, you're out of luck. But QWQ is panning over that zone. Couldn't get any kind of value out of it, so we're jumping over there. We're going to teleport and go ahead and get crushed by that Splatoon 2 shenanigans that are splashdown and wow, okay, the battle's over. I just
The
kind of, yeah.
splashdown kind of just sealing the deal for that game for build collectors. I mean, we saw how quick they were to act. They have so much aggression on their side for their for their team here. But a great game to really start off this set. I mean, we saw how quick these teams were able to move in and take control, and even with build collectors getting a huge point advantage, everything goes down. Still flipped the lead at one point throughout the middle of the match there, but build collectors was able to move back in there, and they are going to be taking game one, giving the counter pick to everything goes numb. And really.
Sorry, I was saying
Okay.
that. You go first.
I mean, for this counter pick, I believe it's actually, we do have it. It's going to be Splat Zone's Umami. They were very quick to choose that. And I think this might benefit them because, in my opinion, Roller was really good here. And I feel like QWQ had a little bit of trouble moving around here. But I feel like Umami is a map where it's going to be a little bit easier for them to move around. And now, switching it to a 2-zone map is definitely going to be interesting to see how these two teams are going to adapt to that. I mean, in my opinion, I don't really like 2-zone maps, so I like 1-zone, but it's going to be interesting to see how these two teams are going to be adapting to that, to say the least.
I was going to say that everything goes numb seemed to have the paint advantage and the speed advantage right when they took it from build collectors. And I'm not sure how true that is, but it seems like build collectors comp is it's more well-rounded, but look at everything goes numb's comp. Theirs is more built for speed. You got the wiper, you have a bow, an end zap, and a roller, which you have paint and speed for, and it's well-rounded over there on build collectors. But I'm not exactly an expert analyst. All I can tell you is that it's getting really scrappy in zones right now, and this rat is looking to get some cheese out of this. But there's no cheese to be found yet. No, I can't. But that's some good evasion, actually. Never mind.
Mondi making quick work. Mondi making quick work of that brush. Able to take a really strong position on their dome there. Everything goes down. Has a decent advantage here, but the leader able to pick them off, giving build collectors a bit of an opening to move around here. That Kraken goes out there, not able to find any picks. Ultra leading in there, but to fight off that roller, they are able to get it before their Kraken runs out there. But now it's a fight for this other zone here. We see Zong able to get the pick off of Mondi to go down there. They have that zone 2 down on the side of everything goes on, and build collectors able to pick it up, and now they have a bit to go through if they want to take the lead there. But with QWQ going down there, everything goes numb, stuck on that retake.
They're getting bottlenecked too. They're trying to get out of their place, but they're kind of stuck in there. So they're now on the back foot with all 4 members trying to get in somewhere, with missiles and chumps being a great way of getting back in. Mondi going down, size advantage goes to build collectors, as we're not going to let everything goes numb, get the zone for long, and we have a lead switch.
Build collectors able to take that lead, but everything goes numb. Is quick to act on it. They have that zone flip. QWQ on that roller trying to take that advantage. They have that bubble ready. They pop their bubble. They're trying to paint that zone there. There goes that splashdown. Zog getting taken out by the roller. There goes that Kraken though. That's going to be huge, forcing the members of Everything Goes Numb off of that top mid for a second. As build collectors try to find an opening, they have the cooler. They have what they need to move on here. The roller gets taken out, and that's going to be huge for them. Build collectors still moving quickly. But Everything Goes Numb still has the zone. They have to paint that zone here, as the members of build collectors are stuck in that useless area. As the penalty goes down, Everything Goes Numb now has a chance. They have just 5 points if they want to take that lead there. We see the Wiper going really aggro here, and everything goes down. Is able to take that lead there, but we see all of these picks just happening. QWQ really strong on this roller.
And that was some good positioning for the E leader, but Payer Tax is getting outpainted earlier. But oh wait a minute, we're saving the game from the jaws of defeat. Oh wait a minute, can we? Getting that wipeout before everything goes numb, everything goes blue.
I mean, I think when you have 5 seconds remaining, all you got to think about is capping that zone, and that's exactly what went into that Blaster's mind, using that splashdown to cap the zone for a second, but their teammates weren't able to really react on it quick enough, and they weren't able to take those zones there, and everything goes dumb, taking game 2, tying it up 1-1 going into game 3 now, giving Bill Collectors that counter pick, and the question is, what map will really suit Bill Collectors, as everything goes numb, has done a great job of both offense and defense, and Bill Collectors really, they can't take this match lightly. They took game 1, but they've got to take this team as seriously as possible, as they were able to take that game 2, forcing a tie to go out there, but they do have that counter pick in their favor.
I have an idea. So Bill Collectors kind of has a speed debuff in terms of their comp. So compared to Everything Goes Numb, Bill Collectors is kind of slower, if not prioritizing heavy-hitting weapons. So, unless they have a comp change, I think they might benefit from a smaller map, something like Urchin Underpass or Brine Springs. Definitely not Eeltail. If anybody picked Eeltail, I'm just gonna look at you funny the whole time. I'm just gonna look at you funny, because that map does not taste good, okay? That map in mode doesn't taste good. I wouldn't order it. It's even worse than coleslaw.
It's even worse than coleslaw. We do actually have a counter pick. This breaking news coming in here. It's gonna be Robo Ramen as our maps update here.
Fair enough.
Bill Collectors has chosen Robo for their counter pick for game 3 of our round 3 matchup. But this is going to be interesting because Robo is one of those maps that it's going to be a bit snowbally. It's one of those it's one of those, I don't think view is the right word, or many, but one of those zones maps that it is able to lock out easy on, and we saw how quick Bill Collectors was able to move in game 1. So the question is, can they repeat that onto Robo? And if they can do exactly that and lock out Everything Goes Numb, they can easily take game 3 here. But I know Everything Goes Numb is not gonna allow that to happen. We've seen how strong they are on these retakes, and really, I mean, it's gonna come down to who has that stronger lockout.
Indeed it is. And who can block off all the flanks, like you were saying. But like, I just want to add on those flanks. If you can get onto those, if you can get there, great. I just want to say, Robo Ramen, I think Bill Collectors has a good chance of turning it around here. Maybe getting a game on Everything Goes Numb. It's a neutral map. It's one of those maps where it's like, it's an alright size. It's not too big. It's not too small. It wouldn't have been my first choice, but you know what? It's a good tasting map. Especially with all that Robo Ramen in there. Especially with all that ramen. I'll have a bowl of ramen. I'll have beef, steak. Wait, that's the same thing. Beef, fish, pork. Not pork chops.
Moku,
no, I mean, I'll take all the meat.
Moku really likes their ramen, as you can tell. But starting off here, just 10 seconds into the game, both teams are quick to move. Missiles and chumps go out from the side of Everything Goes Numb. We see the blaster on the side of Bill Collectors going down there. Ultra on that brush, trying to get the pick. They are able to take out QWQ, having to force out the Wiper. Going to be applying pressure, and they're just going to run around on the map, like Moku says, just as that rat. But Everything Goes Numb, quick to react with it. They have control over the zone for the start of the game. They're looking pretty strong, but they haven't been able to lock out Bill Collectors just yet. So it's going to be a pretty much just fight for mid control now.
It's getting really scrappy over here. Everything Goes Numb having a size disadvantage now. Bill Collectors having the opportunity to get that zone back and pay your taxes, taking up space here. And I want to say, change your hairstyle. That's pretty cool.
They did. We see Taxes on that leader staying strong, as just trying to move out and trying to give their teams any kind of openings that they can. But everything goes down is quick to react to it. 2 down on the side of Bill Collectors, and everything goes on. Still has control over the map there. We see all of these trades just going back and forth. But everything goes down, has a little bit more space to work with. They want to get onto that plat, but Bill Collectors does not want that to happen. That's the last thing they need happening, especially right now, as the members of Everything Goes Down are all backed up onto the zone there. All they want to do right now is just paint that zone and get as much points as possible. There goes a splashdown. Not able to cap the zone though. They're Kraken moving in there. There goes the missiles for Everything Goes Down. The Kraken trying to find whatever picks that they can, but Everything Goes Down still staying strong. They still have control. They're 2 down. Ooh. But it's down to that 2v2. The members of Bill Collectors trying to pin the zone, just leaving the stringer. And back again with the 2 point remaining. We see the team come back and cap that zone there. And we do see Hello getting taken out by Zog. That's going to be huge. But Everything Goes Down still has a little bit more space to work with. They have their plat under control. As the penalty goes out, they have maybe 2 pushes remaining if they can cap the zone back. But with the cooler coming out there, Bill Collectors staying strong on this zone.
Indeed, and all it takes is having size advantage for just long enough. As Henlo goes in with that wiper, Henlo has been a little rat with that wiper. I really admire that. Crack and Cheese over here in front of them, and my stream keeps lagging a little bit, so I'm not caught up. Here we go. No penalty point for Bill Collectors. It's their chance to take the zone back. Oh, it's getting close.
They are able to cap it. There goes the Chumps. They're going to try to buy some time for the Chumps if they are able to cap that zone just in time, applying a huge penalty onto Bill Collectors, denying them of that KO there. And the members of Everything Goes Down are quick to make quick work of the members of Bill Collectors. They're moving in. But we see how fast QWQ has been on this roller, able to get those picks and jumping out just in time.
Okay, so I love the fact that they just keep going after the folks on Ledge. Ledge peeking like a Smash Bros out here, and being able to super jump like his teleportation, but getting caught out by Soren on the end zap. Now it's time for Bill Collectors to get in there with the size advantage. With about 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining, we are going to get in the position to hopefully keep Everything Goes Numb out. And I'm saying hopefully for them, but I want to see an upset here.
We do see that Wiper coming in there, able to get the pick. Splashdown comes out there, not able to get any value from it. 3 down on the side of Bill Collectors, and Everything Goes Down is quick to act. We have less than a minute into the match, and I mean, both of these teams super close in points. They have the cooler, they have what they need to protect. Their blaster goes down there. They're working for that KO. They don't have too much time remaining. 2 down on the side of Bill Collectors, and Everything Goes Down looking like a super strong chance for them to KO here. 30 seconds remaining, but no, the roller goes down there. They want to move as quick as possible, but they're buying enough time for that KO, and Everything Goes Numb, even with that counter pick in mind for Bill Collectors, takes game 3. And now Bill Collectors on the back end of it, they need to win these next 2 games if they want to go on to semifinals.
Excuse me a moment.
We do see how quick the members of Everything Goes Dumb is, how quick they were to react onto game 3. And I mean, now everything is up to Bill Collectors. They do still have the counter pick in favor of them. If they can counter pick and win this next game, force that game 5, that will be great for them. But Everything Goes Numb, as we've seen how well they're able to hold out. I mean, the roller kind of doing the brush's job of just circling around the map, getting picks and jumping out just in time, and just leaving their team with great openings to move in. I mean, that was the reason they were able to get all the way down to 2, and then eventually that KO. But Bill Collectors as well, super fast. I mean, even with everything in mind, Everything Goes Dumb has for them, Bill Collectors has still been very strong opponents for them. They took game 1, and game 3 was incredibly close. We saw how well they were. They were able to get down to 8. They were able to do everything in their power. But we do actually see Humpback coming on from Bill Collectors, as that's going to be their counter pick, which is going to be interesting because of the fact that everything goes numb has that roller advantage. And I think most people know that roller is very strong on humpback. Any kind of fall off weapon is really good on this map, as everything is just there's not a lot of flat land. It's mainly elevated spaces. So very interesting to see how Bill Collectors is going to be picking that for their matchup. As everything goes numb, I feel like has the weapon advantage here. I mean, if I was Bill Collectors, I wouldn't even think of counter picking humpback. So I'm very interested to see what they have planning for them. But everything goes numb. This might be perfect for them. They're thinking, okay, they picked humpback. This is an even better roller map. And they're able to move in and take the picks that they need here, using the sides of the map to their advantage. I mean, humpback, you can't just fight mid. You have to watch your sides. You have to watch those flanks. And that's going to be something the roller is going to utilize greatly on. But, yeah, no, Bill Collector's counterpicking humpback, very interesting, even with everything goes numb having a roller player.
Awesome to see that we're on humpback pump track.
I see why they picked humpback.
Alright, yeah, I haven't really seen this much in comp before. Sorry that I had to go. I had to be showed something by my mother, but anyways, it was a meme. It was kind of funny, but you see the core coming out. We're soaring, just ratting.
We see everything goes numb, still keeping that comp there, but Bill Collector's having a huge switch, taking out a Rapid Blaster and a Dynamo, so I can see why they wanted to counterpick humpback, as it's one of Dynamo's strongest maps here. Immediately moving in there, they have the whale, they have the cooler down, they have control, they have everything in mind for them. They just need to keep this lockout going, and then everything goes numb is going to be stuck on this retake here. But they have a little bit, they have time to move in here, but they're 2 down in Bill Collectors and 3 down in Bill Collectors. Just giving them everything they got, showing them it's going to be a challenge if they want to take this game.
Really is, and I love the Dynamo pick here for Soren. Actually, is this Soren or I can't read the names this small, and the stream keeps freezing the brain. But Dynamo pick is pretty good as QWQ goes down, and Bill Collectors manages to keep the lead with the splashdown.
And they are able to take that zone. It's going to be a loose hold as they are 2 down, but QWQ staying strong on that roller, trying to keep that zone, but it is going to cap, and the members of Everything Goes Numb has to paint over that zone here if they want to take control, as they're trying their best here, but Bill Collectors still keeping as much pain as possible, all of them moving towards that zone, but QWQ just being the rat that they are, able to just apply so much pressure onto Bill Collectors, able to take out that zap before being taken out there. But everything goes on, still has that zone, quickly switching though, the Dynamo able to get 2 onto the map, and with that wipeout, Bill Collectors takes control, 3 down on their side, and Bill Collectors staying into this game, telling Everything Goes Numb, you're going to have to try a lot harder, and you're going to have to luck us out harder if you want to take this game. The Dynamo just being the strongest and most formidable opponent here.
Indeed, I really love how they're just going for it. With Henlo going down to the Dynamo Roar. Dynamo Roar, they scare me as a brush.
We see the missiles moving onto the zone. There goes that splash shot. Able to get a pick. Bill Collectors, they have that zone. They don't have too far for that KO. Everything Goes Numb is 2 down, and they're able to keep that control. QWQ cannot find the picks that they need, and Bill Collectors
nice.
with that KO and forcing a game 5. Both of these teams now tied up 2-2.
That Dynamo pick that was the way to go. Because I was saying that Everything Goes Numb has the paint advantage and the speed advantage, and while Dynamo is slower, it has a lot more paint, and Rapid Blaster's also pretty good. I saw that Payer Taxes had swapped out the E-Leader for the Rapid Pro Blaster, but now we're going on to a game 5.
And I mean, During the time you were gone, Moku, I was just yapping over the fact that even with everything goes having that roller, bill collectors choosing humpback was a very interesting tactic, but it actually worked out better than I anticipated for them. That was something I wasn't expecting at all. That huge switching comp, putting in that dynamo roller, putting in that rapid blaster, two weapons that are just great at spacing out opponents and taking them out, and it just was able to work so well into their favor. And now everything goes down, has that counter pick for the final game. It all comes down to this final map, and everything goes has their choice, and they're really thinking strong and hard. What do they want to play? What is going to favor them the most, and what is going to put a lot of pressure onto bill collectors? And that's all they gotta know. If they can figure that out, then they can take this next game, put it into their advantage, use everything they know about them. I mean, by this point, you know your opponent as well. This is your 5th time playing them, so you have to have some sense of what they're going to be cooking if you want to take the next game, and it's gonna be Haggle.
The bread and butter Splatoon comp. It's a good tasting map.
Really?
I mean, yeah, I think so.
My opinion,
it tastes good.
This isn't, Haggle's is kind of like, Haggle is kind of, if we want to put it in food terms, I feel like maybe like chicken noodle soup. Like, it's just plain. It's just, you see it all the time. It's a common thing. You always see it, but it's a classic, and it works. I feel like if I wanted to put it into, yeah, exactly. If I wanted to put it into food terms, I mean, it's a very decent map. You see it a lot, but it gets the job done here. And I mean, both of these teams, if I was one of these teams, I'd be sweating right now. I mean, this has been such an intense set, and we're not even into the semifinals. Whoever wins this will be moving on to the semifinals.
And we're just about to get into it with, I don't think we're seeing a comp change. We're going to, okay, so, alright, so is the Stamper new, or are they from last?
We do see the Stamper go out there. I believe Hello was on that wiper previously, bringing out the Booyah Bomb Stamper. I mean, you can never go wrong with any of the Stamper Caps. And immediately, QWQ able to get the pick off of Zog before jumping out there. Super strong start for everything goes numb there. 2 down on the side of Bill Collectors. Quickly making work. Storn able to get a pick on their Zap, trying to just do whatever they can to limit how much everything goes numb has control. There goes that jump there. They're able to get another one, and the wiper, and they do get that triple. They do barely get the triple on the board before being taken out there. Quick work of that Booyah Bomb. The Stamper gets taken on there, and another goes down there, and Bill Collectors finally gets that zone there, just leaving QWQ alive, sharking.
Bill Collectors having that size advantage lasting long enough to get that zone, and we're going to see if they can keep it. Bill Collectors had gone over to a paint-heavy comp with QWQ going down, and oh, I see what we're doing here. We're going to ledge peek like a Smash Bros, but don't be out of position too long as you get zone lead. We're going to see if we're going to use the splashdown to have to take it back or to protect the zone with the Booyah Bomb coming out, and Bill Collectors being at a size disadvantage 3v4.
Immediately moving in here, trying to gain as much control as they can here. They're halfway to that cooler. The Zap's been a staple of this game. QWQ known for just being a rat in general. That Dynamo on the left for Bill Collectors, trying to get the pick off of the Zap, unable to do so, but the Stamper goes down there, which is going to give Bill Collectors a chance to move in there. Everything goes down, and they have that lead there. They want that Dynamo dead, but they can't exactly. The jumps go out there, but we do see the splash go there as well, able to cap the zone, and now it's going to be a fight for the zone, but everything goes down, still strong, down into the 20s.
Oh yeah, it's coming down to the wire as QWQ goes down, and now Bill Collectors are in control of the zone, but not for long because everything goes numb is going for that recap. Booyah Bomb coming out, and 2 going down to the Dynamo Roller. Size disadvantage goes to everything goes numb. Bill Collectors in the lead, or not in the lead, but like they have the advantage and they can get lead if they can hold the zone long enough.
They have everything they need. I mean, their penalty is over. The Chump's coming out there. The Cooler coming out there. Everyone using the specials that they can. QWQ able to get a pick onto the zone. There goes that Booyah Bomb. Able to throw it down. Throwing it just away. So Bill Collector's forced to move back there. And we see everything goes down. They take that zone. But we do see Zog quick. Able to get 2 down on the side of everything goes down. Forcing them to back up, and Bill Collectors, they have control over the zone, but they have to work through that penalty if they want to take the lead, and everything goes down. Does not have that much time anymore.
They really don't, with just 1 minute and 48 seconds left. No more penalty points for Bill Collectors as Hawaiian goes down to the ledge, peeking like a Smash Bros. Out here. I want to know what your Smash Bros. Main is. They take the lead, even though we're at a size disadvantage. 1v4, or now it's like 3v3. The game state has gone to everything goes numb, and they'll have to hold it for about 40 seconds before they can actually get some points on the board. Hawaiian now having their time to shine as they make sure nobody can get past them.
We have almost less than a minute remaining. These scores are tight. They have the Cooler. They have the Whale. They're telling their team it's time to go. QWQ jumping out there, but the Booyah Bomb coming in there. Able to get 3 and 3 go down there. And everything goes numb without a penalty remaining. With that lockout, they're able to take that lead here. And they're working for a QWQ. But no, they go 3 down. And then remember to Bill Collector quick to move on to the zone with the splash coming in there. It's just
it's not enough. No time left.
Frame. The splashdown just quarter of a second too late there, and everything goes numb. Keeps that zone for that final tick, and even though the defeat screen is on and that zone is capped, they kept control. And it looks like everything goes numb is gonna take a close game 5, and they're gonna be heading on to the winners semis.
Indeed. Winners semis. We're already here. We're already at the winners semis. It's actually pretty exciting, Matt.
Wow. Whew. We've made it pretty far, to say the least. We do have a little bit of an intermission, so we will be back with our winners semis very shortly. So we'll see you there. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Triton-Cup 141. We are here for our winners semi-finals. This is where stuff gets real. This is where these matches are just necessary. If you don't win, then you're going to be on the back end for the rest of the tournament. And both of these teams have climbed their way. Both, I believe Sunshine has not lost a single game, and the agency has only lost one game previously. So both of these teams, very, very strong teams going in to go into the fighting for the winners final spots. Eventually a spot at grand finals. Both of these teams are, in my opinion, both of these teams are contenders for taking the win of this week's Triton-Cup, but they have to make their way through the next couple of rounds to do so. Starting off on Zone's Barnacle.
I've got to say, Sunshine not dropping a single match is really impressive, and that just goes to show the power of vitamin D. It's amazing how we can just use the sunlight for vitamin D. And they say that humans can't photosynthesize. SMH, I say that we can. But, okay, alright, we got T-Tac coming out. And we've got Luna Blaster. These are some interesting comps. What you're saying, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, we see,
We're
see the Z.
We're gunning it.
We see the Z Mini coming out here from the side of Sunshine. Love to see Z Mini get action immediately. Zone's flipping for both sides there. Luna goes down there. Bucky goes down there. And we do see quickly the agency is moving to take complete control. Grape getting the trade with Alwo. But we see that we see Yuna on that pen, still strong, trying to get whatever picks that they can, giving their teammates enough space to move in here. Boss is coming in there. They're able to get the pick, but no, 3 down on the side of the agency.
No
that is
way.
Wipeout and Sunshine quickly taking control with that zone, and they're going to be quick to lock up the members of the agency.
Indeed they are. They were on the back foot for the first moments of the battle, but now with size advantage going to them just long enough with that wipeout, now they're locking them out. We got Core, we got Inkjet, we've got all the stops being pulled out with a hammer online with the zones now going over to them. Lead switching out here, but size disadvantage going towards Sunshine. Now the agency has the space and the time they need to get back in the zone, and they do.
We see the members of the agency still keeping that zone strong. We see the bucket trying to get whatever picks that they can, but they're going to get taken out there, and 2 down and 3 down on the side of Sunshine, and another wipeout. And the agency is in a complete lockout. They have the members of Sunshine all stuck in their base. Even the pen is up in their faces. We see their zap goes down there. This is a great chance for them. We see 2 down, and there goes another wipeout on the board!
No way!
That is the 3rd time the agency has gotten that wipeout, and they have the lead there. They're down into the 20s now, gonna be going into the 10s now, and the agency has such a strong grip onto Sunshine.
It really does. They have firmly grasped it, but we're in the single digits, and I think it is a win for the agency for this match.
Wow. I
that was really intense.
That was either 3 or 4 wipeouts we saw from the agency making quick work of Sunshine, and I believe that actually is going to be shutting down Sunshine's winning streak completely I mean the agency completely shutting them out, showing that the agency is a very strong contender. But we've seen how well Sunshine has done in this tournament, and it's not over yet. Sunshine, it's their turn to pick the map, try to get something that's going to work a little bit better for them, maybe something for a little bit more elevation, giving the bucket a little bit more opportunities to make a play here. But I mean, wow, it's been a second since I've seen just a complete wipeout there. Agency taking a very strong game 1, and I mean, wow, I would be terrified right now. At least in my opinion, I'd be terrified of these guys.
To think that Sunshine did not drop a single game, and already they have dropped 1 game to the agency. I believe you, Matt. I believe you. If I was on Sunshine right now, I'd be kind of scared because what do you mean? We didn't drop a single game all set, like all tournament. Now we're at the. Now we're kind of at a chokehold here, but I wonder what Sunshine is going to counterpick. What do you think?
They are going to be going on crab leg. We're waiting for the. There it is. Stream is updated. There it is. We see crab leg coming out here. A map that is definitely going to favor longer range weapons.
It's not a map that tastes good to me.
It's another version of coleslaw, basically, as we were talking about in the last two sets.
Yeah, but
crab leg.
Like, I don't know what would be worse than coleslaw. There's a lot of foods that I like, and not too many that I don't like. I don't know, probably like poorly made macaroni salad that's like really cold and not made too well. My cousin makes great macaroni salad, though.
Go, and I can see why Sunshine wanted to go crab leg here, because this is where Leader is really gonna shine. Leader is gonna have the bestest time for their team here. Immediately moving on to the zone, Tri-Strikes go out there, but 2 down on the side of the agency, and all of a sudden Sunshine is now flipped, and they have control, but they're 2 down. It's going to be a bit of a loose hold here. Their Zap gets taken out there. They're moving quick, Albo with that pick, able to take control over the zone, and the agency is quick to act. They have that zone back. They're working for that leader. The blaster gets taken out there, which is going to be huge as the members of agency are trying to make quick work. It's going to be harder for them to lock out, but they do have the chance to do so.
Oh, look at how fast the agency is. The agency is really fast. They're like little rats. But Sunshine is not going to go down into that good night. They are going to take it back with Alo going down. Nice shot from the E-leader. Good positioning. But I just want to say, we're at size neutrality now. All it's going to take is a good push from either one of these teams to solidify something in either direction with a wave breaker coming out. This E-leader's in a very good position. I just want to keep pointing that out. I love when anchors take a good position and they guard their teammates. But don't get too distracted by the rats, the dualies, being a rat and getting that wipeout for the agency. I'm scared.
Wasn't really, I mean, in my opinion, not really one of the positions a leader wants to be in. I mean, when you're on the ground like that, there's only so much you can do. There's only so much you can do, though. And exactly shows why the Gal was able to take them out there. The Whales coming out there, the agency, they're working down there, but there goes that hammer. They want to get the picks that they need. The Sun and Team Sunshine is able to flip it back, leaving just the pen alive quickly. Their penalty is now over. They have Wavebreaker online, just going to be tossing it onto their plat now. They just want to lock them out as fast as possible. But the question is, can they do so? We've seen how well agency has been to move around here, and it's up to Sunshine to really keep this hold and try to just lock them out as much as they can here. And it does look like they're going to be taking lead here.
Nice work for Sunshine. And I do agree with you that E-leader positioning wasn't really the best like I thought it was, but you know, that was me trying to not say it was the worst position. Not optimal, but for what you were trying to achieve, I think it was okay. And there are worse positions for E-leader. For example, you really don't want to be in the middle of the zone, you don't want to be out in the open, you know what I mean? But now, Alo going down, we got size advantage, which is huge, even if it is just 1 down. You want to have enough people coming out here to the front and holding it down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, such a great job here, Sunshine, showing that they're still a strong contender. Their penalty is ticking. It's done. They're going to start gaining some points here. They just want to apply as much pressure as possible. The strikes coming in there. They aren't enough to cap the zone there. We see the picks flying, and it does look like the agency is able to cap that zone there, but the members of Sunshine are quick to take control. They're still gaining as much points as possible here. We see the Gal trying to just move around, trying to get as much space as possible, but it does look like they're 3 down, and Sunshine has control even when they're 2 down. Another goes down there, and it looks like with that jump being canceled, Sunshine is going to be KOing, and they're going to be taking game 2, tying it up, showing that it's it seems likely that they were able to breeze through the previous brackets, showing now they were able to flip it. Even though the agency was so fast in game 1, they were able to, Sunshine was able to slow them down enough and take this next game, and now forcing that game 3. And that's how you just know both of these teams are really going to be going back to back this entire set.
This is really intense. Like, this is really... I'm scared. I'm not even battling them, and I'm kind of scared here in the commentator booth. It's like, how is an Inkbrush Rat supposed to? How are we supposed to fare as Inkbrush Rats? You know, to go against any of these, except I kind of thinking about just myself right now. I don't. Actually, no. Hold on. I'm kind of. What if we call up Krakenmare and be like, yo, you want to challenge these teams? That was what Brush can do.
Going in for game 3. Now, we do have our counter pick. It's going to be Mako Mart, which is going to be interesting. I've called it out before. Mako's one of those maps where a lot of things are going to be equal for both sides, so I really think it's going to come down to who can paint the most for this upcoming match. I mean, both of these teams, they've seen how well each other play, so they know going into this it's going to be a challenge. So they know they got to paint the zone as much as they can.
This MMO tastes like the best cooked fish you've ever had. Alright, we're gunning for the zone, frame 1. We're just gonna go and make a beeline. Both of them meeting each other, clashing in mid, and size advantage going to Sunshine. So, for that early lead switch, we're gonna have some strikes coming out to oppose that, but no, it doesn't do anything. Throw him out here on the Luna Blaster Neo, ledge peeking like a Smash Bros, punishing anybody trying to get too close, and getting punished themselves by a Snipe Rider. Unichan knows how to find people. With another one going down, Slosher will have to reposition next time, and Charger versus Charger, Unichan going down, just barely getting the pick on the other Snipe Rider. With a wipeout for Sunshine.
Coming in there, Sunshine immediately making quick work of the agency, locking them out there. They're down into the 20s. The agency only has one more chance to push in there. Their bucket goes down. They have the resources they need. They need to push in now. The time is ticking for them.
Whoa.
We see there seems to be a rat, but we do see that zone coming, and they are able to take it. Even with everything in mind, they were able to cap the zone, but quickly making work. Giving them a huge penalty to say the least, but the agency still on the back end of everything.
Okay, first of all, Sunshine, how did you get the points down all the way to 5 with like 3 minutes and 28 seconds to go? That's impressive. Was Chrome going down, and even though the agency is pushed back right now, they're trying to get their way in, not even saving the zone with the strikes, and barely keeping it right now with the neutral, but we're seeing a rat on left side, and oh wow, so Slosher is the rat. We have a rat Slosher. This makes sense. I love to see it. I love to see it. For those
work of it, though.
Those about to rat, we salute you.
Coming in there, we see the splashdown. They are able to cap this on, but Sunshine is quick to react to it. They still have them locked out. They have to work through that penalty if they want to KO, but they've been doing such a strong job of holding the other team out here. They still have control, and the agency really has one more good push in them if they want to take this. If they want to take the zone back, we see the blaster trying to strike them out. Those strikers coming in there. They are able to cap the zone, but no, they get taken out again. A 2v2 on the map, and still Sunshine staying strong. They're trying to paint over that zone. The agency doing their best. It's down to a 2v3. They're still trying the bucket, putting so much pressure onto them, but the agency doing whatever in their power to take the zone, but they just can't. Multiple going down there. They have to work through that penalty, but no, they cap the zone, but it quickly gets turned back for Sunshine.
It really does. Sunshine is keeping that hold, like, nothing else that I've seen in this tournament so far. And that's kind of a lie. I mean, I've seen some pretty good holds in this tournament, but Sunshine is really on another level here. Luna Blast from Neo not playing around, getting the picks, score going down with no more penalty points to go, and Sunshine gets the zone.
Wow. Okay. I think that is the first time I have seen a team stay at 90. The agency did not drop below 90 that entire game, and that game went on for a while. And the second the agency flipped the zone, the members of Sunshine were able to quickly take back control, taking game 3. And when we thought at first agency was going to be the stronger team, all of a sudden they're on the back end. Sunshine up 2-1, and all they have to do is win this next game, and they're going to be moving on to winners finals.
This goes to show that Sunshine has the faster comp, and they tend to rotate together like really tightly. Like, they're just always together as a unit. Kind of like how Blank does. Not to just throw out Blanks out of nowhere, but as a cross-reference. You have teams that just move together as a unit, and the agency can do that too. But with Sunshine, they're just... Once you get a pick on one of them, they just know your zip code right then and there. So, good luck.
Yeah, pretty much. But, yeah, no.
Know your coordinates.
Sunshine taking our Mako game. It's 2-1 in their favor, and the agency has counterpick for game 4. And the question is, what can they pick? What can they utilize? Can they, in my opinion, if I was the agency, I'd probably go maybe something like Robo or Shipshape, something that they can act quick on to get the lockout. But if you're going to be doing that, you have to make sure you're staying strong, because I mean, Sunshine, even with these maps, have had insane lockout potential. So it's up to the agency to decide it. As I say that, I predicted it. I predicted it correctly. They are going on Robo for game 4.
Our team just wants ramen today, and it's pretty cool. But, okay, so what do you think the agency will have to do differently?
I mean, going in for this one, I mean, the best thing that they could do here is fight together, take as many coordinated fights as possible, lock out Sunshine. The agency, they can lock out. We've seen them do it in game 1. They can do it again. They just have to be taking the correct fights. And we have our comps here. We do actually see the Dread coming out from the side of Sunshine. The Crab coming out from them is going to be interesting. See how they're going to be utilizing that, changing up their comps. Even with the agency on the back end, they want to make sure that their team is unpredictable. They want to use different weapons to their advantage here, but immediately 2 down the side of agency. Sunshine trying to take back the zone. They're going to be doing exactly that. Grape all the way on their plat there with a pen, able to get a sneaky pick before that bubble goes off. There goes a card though, able to trade them out.
This was a really exciting start to the battle with Owl going for it. They're going to be a rat with Sunshine getting wiped out. This is a good turning point for the agency. The agency will have to fight to keep their hold, taking an early lead switch too.
And now we see the agency. They have the control they need, but the question is, can they have that hold? Do they have what they need to hold the opponents out? There goes that hammer. Not going to be doing too much for them. There goes that bubble. The strikes coming out there, shutting down that bubble. Grape trying to paint over the zone. They're 2 down. They can get that lockout, but they're still staying strong. The pen doing whatever they can to hold it, but we see it. Sunshine able to flip it back, applying a huge penalty onto the agency. And with another going down there, Sunshine has a little bit more space to move around with, and with their penalty on, the points are going down, and this has become a closer and closer game by the second.
It really is, with the Tri-Strikes coming back out to help try to regain that zone, with the splashdown not having any effect at all. The agency manages to recap the zone and maintain their lead. It's up to Sunshine to find a way to rat back in. We got Slosher out here, Dreadbringer actually. Crab's online, Owl goes down. One of them jumps. to wear. Ooh, punch and pancake for their close proximity too.
You see that Dread doing whatever they can to paint over the agency, doing a good job, but Sunshine is able to cap it back, but their Luna goes down there. The agency is gonna use that with their strikes to move back in there, but the Dread just doing whatever they can to hold them out there. There goes that splashdown, able to take them out there. Multiple going down onto the side, but the agency still staying strong there, but they're 2 down. It's going to be a bit of a loose hold. They want to play a little bit more safer here. Sunshine gaining their plat back as the Zap is going to be moving around.
Zap is being a rat indeed with the strikes coming out. Trying to get that. Ooh, but one going down on the other side. And Sunshine managing to get the size advantage. Now they're in charge zone. And it's up to them to try to keep out the agency. Will the sun shine on them today, or will it get overcast? Who knows? Stick around and find out.
Their Dread is down though, which is going to be a little bit worried for them. With that trade, the agency flips that zone back. They have a 20-point lead there. They want to get that penalty down as much as possible, but we do see a shortcut actually happening there. Blaster gets taken out there. They're close to the cooler. They want to move in here. They want to move in as fast as they can, but they're 1 down. And the members of the agency are doing a great job of locking them out, keeping as much control as possible. They just want to delay Sunshine as much as possible, but they're 3 down, and Sunshine takes control with a wipeout. And Sunshine is quick to move, taking any possible space. Chrome immediately moving up in their play. The pen moving up. Their penalty is over. They have a hammer. They have what they need to lock out. Can they do it? They're going in for that pen that they're not even going to make. Well, they're able to get 2 with the hammer throw. And they're able to completely lock them out there. Sunshine taking lead with 2 down on the side of the agency. It's getting super close for them.
Oh, and they just have to hold it on for more takes with size neutrality happening. 3v3, and it's up to the agency to try to get out, but they get caught out by the Zeke Mini Splatling, and that is the winner of the set!
And wow.
Sunshine wins the set!
Sunshine
only dropping 1 game in the whole tournament.
So far, we don't know what's going to be happening soon, but I mean,
yeah,
the
true.
agency with that counter pick, I mean, what quick work they were able to make, but I mean, incredible set. Even with the agency, even with their backs turned, they got super far into game 4, but Sunshine with that final wipeout to lock it out, securing their spot into winners finals. But an incredible set between some very formidable opponents. But with that being said, I mean, we saw at first the agency, we thought at first they were going to be the team to take control. But no, Sunshine was able to take game 2. They were able to take game 3, put the agency on the edge, and able to clutch up. And even with the agency getting pretty far down with 35 points there, the Sunshine coming back for that final KO, securing game 4, giving themselves a 3-1 lead over the agency, going in to winners finals. But I mean, look, we've seen some incredible sets so far, even in the lower rounds 1 and 2, even though those are a lot of teams are really just climbing their way through. We saw how well they were scrapping together. We saw some incredible game 3 matchups, and even going into these higher level sets, we've been seeing some intense games, to say the least. But yeah, that's gonna be closing us out. As we are gonna be, that is our last set. We're gonna be switching commentators, but Moku, I mean, number 1, any last comments?
I hope my goats and Zipcat get to the grand finals. Okay, but I hope everybody has fun. No, but bits aside, like jokes aside, for real. I hope whoever makes it the grands have fun. You know, I hope everybody has fun.
But yeah, that's with that in mind, that is going to be closing out our time here on Triton-Cup. So Moku, where can they find you?
Lovely people can find me on Blue Sky at mokudraws1020.bsky.social. You can find me on Discord at moku_1020. And you can find me on TikTok if you want to see some quads and triples and other meme things I do during my spare time getting saved to an account somewhere. Find me on TikTok at Moku8386. What about you, Matt?
You can find me anywhere at Matthew Mega. I mean, next week you guys will be seeing me live for yes, next week you might see me live at Big Dapple number 10, which is a huge event, and another LAN qualifier. So if anyone's keeping up with the LAN scene, another LAN qualifier happening next week, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, that is going to be closing off our time here at Triton-Cup 144. So good luck to the rest of the teams, and we'll see you all soon.
Zipcat, if you don't make grand.
And welcome back to Triton-Cup 141. I am Pat here with Ezio, ready to watch the rest of this tournament. And we still have one more game, Ezio, on the upper bracket, of course. It is the finals. It's going to be Bird Black versus Sunshine.
Yeah, Pat, I cannot wait for this set. It's one seed versus 3 seed. It's definitely going to be a tough matchup here, but we're going to be starting off on Mahi Mahi Splat Zones. This is a very common map mode, Pat. What do you think these teams are going to bring out?
I mean, there's a lot that you can bring to Mahi Splat Zones, which is why I think it's one of the best maps in competitive. Whatever option you have, whether you use your range, your ledges options, whether you like to play around corners, whether you like to play as a team on this big flat surface that you have around the zone, everybody has something to do on Mahi, and that makes this map so interesting because each team is going to bring their A game to this map, and I love that.
For sure, and what I'm really interested about, Pat, is if we're going to see E-Liter or Pencil, because this is a very good map for Pencil. In my opinion, as a Pencil player, it's one of the best maps for Pencil. But on both teams, we have players that have been playing E-Liter more recently with Bake and Devin, and Devin's always been an E-Liter player, but that question won't wait too long as we get into Game 1 here, with Devin already on that E-Liter, and Pencil coming out from Bake.
Yeah, well, we both got both. We get both as you. So I guess I hope you're happy. We get to see how both of these weapons can fare the rest of the teams. I mean, we have pretty common picks, but I noticed we have a Luna, which we don't see that often right now. Both teams are losing a lot of players. Sunshine losing a bit more. The zone will go for the birds, but I mean, there's still a lot of fight to go. Until the water drops, it is very much a whole way and a fight.
Yeah, Bird did a very good job there collapsing on those sides. That's something that Bird's comp really does shine with that Slosher and Blaster combo numbers. Then Ely are just able to pick off anyone that drops off, and there is Grape trying to drop off, but Kiki gets two. Gonna get a third? No, cannot quite get a third. Unfortunately, does go down, and that water drop is gonna try and turn the tides here.
Yeah, and Sunshine is attacking as the water drop. That could give them special points, but they're not really able to take space right now. Bird is punishing them, stopping them. They have no penalty, only 30 ticks left onto the zone. And Sunshine, they're just running in one after the other, and they're paying the price for it.
Yeah, Bird is doing a really good job here, showing why they are seed 1. They have not gotten to the zone yet from Sunshine, and Devin gets a nice little double there. And that is game 1, heading over to Bird.
Yeah, Bird Black. I mean, it's as you said, once they had the zone, they simply held the zone. And we saw Sunshine be able to win a few fights, to get a few splats, but each time they were not able to really get much out of these splats. There was the answer by Bird, there was the trade being gotten, and Sunshine were not able to get ground from the splats that they were able to get.
Yeah, Sunshine does have the counter pick now, I do believe, so this is into their favor. They can pick a better map for their composition, because their composition is more of a fan of a lot of the ledges, right? While Bird's comp likes that open areas, likes those open sight lines for E-Leader. Sunshine can switch between Pencil and E-Leader, while Bird is mostly stuck to that E-Leader Zap composition.
That's a good point. And right there, for now, advantage is Bird. And one thing to note, as you said, is Bird like to play that E-Liter, and a team that plays that E-Liter, we saw that likes to hold the position they have. Sunshine was fast and was able to get some ground at the start of the game, but once Bird was in position, they were hard to push away. Now going into Macomart, that's a map where you can always get back in, and getting back in is what Sunshine likes to do, especially since, as you said, they like their ledges. This is the ledge map.
Yeah, this is the ledge map. This is the flank map. This map requires a lot of coordination. And I think that's something where Sunshine can really shine with their comp here. And I think E-Leader as well kind of struggles on this map mode compared to Pencil because of the stacks being so close together. And the stacks being such a central point to this map mode. If you want to have the zone, you need to have the stacks, Pat.
Yeah. Yeah, these stacks control very much the base of the game. All of mid, anything past your drop is controlled by these two stacks. And these teams know that. They're going to bring blasters, they're going to bring bombs to make sure that you can never stay comfortable on these stacks. And of course, they will do their best to camp their backlines there to make sure that they have such a vantage point. Nobody else can really get anything going until these chargers are moved away. Now, as we were saying, this is a great opportunity for Sunshine. This is the kind of maps that Sunshine gets an edge, can force Bird in a kind of gameplay that they're not necessarily at their most comfortable. But this is Bird we're talking about. This is a cracked pickup by cracked players. You can throw anything their way, they'll be ready for it. So we're going to see a very interesting game. Let's get right in there. And I mean, Bird with a bucket and a blaster, same the other side, even though it's not the same blaster. I mean, both of these teams know exactly what to do on here.
Yeah, for sure. And as you mentioned, strong pickup, and even then, it's half of a pickup. Devin and Kiki here have been on the same teams before, but Blaster really making their mark, getting 3 there. Nice triple there from Chrome on that flank with that Luna Blaster. And that is a wipeout going to Sunshine, peering over the clouds, making their mark here. And the Crab Tank going to come out as well, but unfortunately gets taken out there by Ryu.
Yep, the bombs, you cannot stay on the stack. There's going to be a bomb on the stack always, and the power of the suction right here doing so much. But Bird, they're able to get to the zone. Can they cap it? Well, yes, the splashdown, the suicide splashdown will be enough. But Bird, all they can do right now is apply penalty. It's still Sunshine that has so much control over mid.
Yeah, Sunshine popping those tri-strikes, going to try and move in off of them, but 2 go down, and it looks to be that Dronoff is going to try and go and get that 3rd, and that is a wipeout once again, and this time it's in the favor of Bird. Bird's going to just try and hold these areas. Devin's in a really strong position here. If Devin can hold this for the rest of their time, that is very good for them.
Yeah, and right now it looks like Bird are able to hold the zone, and they're gonna get the lead just like that. Sunshine trying to go in, throwing the strikes forward to establish something, and they're able to get a few splats that will allow them to take control over the zone. Everybody from Bird will be back from spawn right now, as the Sunshine now, I mean, it's their turn to have the positions, it's their turn to have the stacks. Can they hold them? Oh!
2 go down, and they're gonna try and push back in as well. And it looks to be that Sunshine's going to try and hold on to that zone just a little bit longer to get that lead. 3, 2, 1, here it is. Kiki trying to splash down in to try and keep that zone from going a little bit too far into the other team's favor. But it's just a fight on the sides here. Like we said, the stacks, these are very important. And it looks like Sunshine won that fight there. And Tri-Strike's going to be coming out from Bird as well to try and get back in.
And there's no penalty on Sunshine. That is so important. Bird needs to win this fight, needs to cap the zone right there. They're able to. Chrome is still behind them with the Luna. A Luna behind you is not something you want to see. As Bird is regrouping, preparing another push, can they get back to the zone? As Sunshine, I mean, they don't have that strong of defensive position, but they're still very much around, I hear.
Yeah, Chrome dropping off onto Dronoff and does get that pick. Gonna try and get a second onto Kiki. Does get 2. Chrome gonna get a little bit greedy here. Gonna try and go get that pick onto Devin. Gets the half. Can't finish it though. And again, Pat, there is no penalty left for Sunshine. Sunshine's just always having rainbows. Always in the good position here. Tri-Strike's coming out trying to get something going with this. And they do manage to stop the zone for a second, but this is the mental difference compared to E-Leader. Bake is able to hold on to this zone, and they are able to get some jumps in with Tactical, but one does go down from Kiki. Kiki trying to make a last-ditch effort here. Does get 3! It is just the shooter left alive. Grape does manage to get that kill, but Ryu manages to cap that beforehand.
That cap is so important for Bird. Look at that, even though they had the numbers advantage, Bird, all they got was the cap. All of Sunshine are already back on the zone for another team fight, and Devin is in position on the stack. They have a good vantage point. If they can hold that position, they'll be in a very, very powerful spot. But it's still a lot of opportunities for Bird. No, Bird is down.
but it seems to be every time Bird goes down, Devon's able to at least get one pick and maybe get out. Doesn't look like they're able to get out this time. Never mind, they do get out. That bucket wins a very crucial 1v1 against Ryu there. Unfortunately, does go down afterwards, but this is a very good position for Sunshine once again. But as I say that, Commentator's Curse to go down. Kiki running in, trying to get that pick on the bucket. Doesn't quite get it. Grape able to clean up most of the fights that have been happening here. And there is 3 down again on the side of Bird. It is only up to Dronoff here with that jump in. Kiki's not being able to do much with that jump in. Dronoff gets the kill, but it's too little too late. Great managing to hold on to the zone and going to tie up the set.
Yeah. Beautiful counter by Sunshine. They knew what they had to do. They knew what their strength was. Bird was relying on their ability to completely cut Sunshine out of the map, but you can't cut someone out on macro map. Not a team like Sunshine. They will always have a way back in, and you could see that in action.
Yeah, and like we mentioned before, Pat, these stacks, these ledges, that's where Sunshine really does make their mark, right?
Where they shine.
Yeah, they shine. It's the perfect pun, but you know, it is true. But now it's in the favor of Bird, so I'm assuming we're gonna see some open map. We're probably gonna see something like Umami Ruins or Hagglefish Market, something open. I want you to make a prediction, Pat. What map you think we're going to?
Crab leg? Just
Crab leg?
I'd say crab leg. I mean, I see like Devin and Kiki, and I have to think that they'd go to a map where the Elite will be able to do whatever they want. I mean, for sure, they're going to go to a map that is the opposite of Mako, and the first thing that comes to mind would be crab leg.
But I do think we're forgetting that Baka can... Oh, Eel Tail?
Yeah, well...
Or is this the prediction of the streamer?
No, that's the counter pick.
Okay, well, I mean, when you think of E-Leader maps, I think this is one you think of.
And it's not just an E-Leader map. Like, Devin has grown as like a player that is so visible with that E-Leader. The whole team that we have here with Black, they know how to play a lockout. And this is more than the Elite map, this is the lockout map, and this is what Bird likes to do.
But on the flip side, Crab Tank and Hammer could be very good for extending pushes. And that could really benefit Sunshine. It really does come down, it doesn't all come down to it, but the opening is going to be very crucial for both of these teams. And it looks like Bird is going to take advantage of that right off the bat.
Yeah, right there. Both teams trying to paint the zone. That zone is so big, so slow to paint. But it's going to be Bird taking early control. But Bird just lost their Elite and they lost 3 players now. That's Sunshine, who are going to take first control. I mean, they're going to put themselves in front of the zone. This is where the game of Iltel really starts.
Yeah, this is the game of we need to get them out of our bridge, but we also need to get back into mid. So you need to be very selective with your specials. You need to figure out which specials are going to get you into your bridge and which specials are going to get you into mid. It looks like they opted for the tri-strikes to get them back into their bridge. Now they're relying on their mechanics to win the fights in mid. And it looks like it's paying off as Dronoff wins that fight and Kiki wins the fight against the Blaster. So it looks to be that Bird is able to get back in. And now it's their turn to lock out.
You need to do 2 pushes in a row just to get back to the zone. And Bird was able to do that swiftly and effectively right there, but now they've lost a few players. Can they hold long enough for these players to respawn as the Crab Tank is the Crab Tank is punished by this big Bird is still very much in the right positions. We're going to get another neutral. The team that wins that next fight will have control over the map.
Yeah, these teams are making an Eeltail look like the best map in the set right now. Really back and forth, but it looks to be that Bird's finally going to be able to get a foothold onto their position with no penalty either. Tri-Strike's coming out to try and keep them off of that bridge because, again, if that bridge is still there, then if that team is still on bridge, then you have to make two separate pushes. But 2 are down again. Only 10 ticks remaining. Crab Tank coming out as a last-ditch effort here. We're gonna try and run in and get some picks, and that stall might be long enough for them. No, it might not be. They're able to cap the zone, and they are. Sunshine manages to cap the zone at 1 tick remaining. Oh my goodness, Pat.
It is not over. Sunshine able to save themselves, and not just save themselves. Look at that, they're thriving. They're back on top of the wall, and the bucket takes control of it, punishing Devin with the litter. That is big, and they're not stopping, Ezio.
Holy aura coming from the slasher here. They have that aura in-game and figuratively as well. And again, there is no penalty left. And it looks to be that Bird is really staggered here. Kiki's gone down. They're just coming back now. The Tri-Strikes just to get back into the bridge to start their first of 2 pushes. But they do have that splashdown. Kiki running in, going to use that splashdown. Not able to cap the zone because it is too large. It's Sunshine holding on by a thread and manages to win the game.
Ezio, given how awkward this zone is, you have so many obstacles that can't be painted in the middle of it, and it is so wide. It takes so much time to paint that zone, but Sunshine timed it perfectly, saved just so close to the KO, and got the incredible comeback from it. I think, like, after that push that they got, saving the zone and taking the bridge, Bird didn't know what to do. Bird were lost. It was a bit too late. They didn't know how to come back from here. They could have mounted a push, but Sunshine had the momentum, had the mental edge, and they just got the break, which means they are now on a match point.
Yeah, suddenly Bird is now on the back foot. But Pat, I want to recall back to that game for a second. I think the only reason why that splashdown didn't cap was actually there's 2 reasons. One, obviously, like you said, the zone being so huge, and the second, the hammer throw came out from the Luna Blaster, got rid of 2 of the fists.
Ooh.
The only one that landed was Kiki themselves. So a lot of that pain was eaten up by that hammer throw, and my golly, it was a good throw. It was a cancel of 2 separate ones, and it also got a kill. I don't really remember who the Luna Blaster was, but that was an amazing game-saving play.
Yeah, Hammer is the special that is so bad most of the time, but about once per game, it absolutely shreds and it turns the tides completely. Even if you don't notice it, there's so many crazy plays with hammers. And getting 2 fists with 1 hammer, that's a good thing.
And another thing is, as well, like you said, that zone is so large. So Bird's strategy when they were getting close to the end was just to stall out fights. But we are going into brine water splat zones, which again is another map where having a foothold is very valuable. Not as much as Eel Tail, obviously, but E-Leader is also good here as well. So,
and hey, Bird were punished by the big zone. The big zone wasn't good for them. They're going to a small zone now. You can cap this zone with by just looking at it funny. Basically, that zone is so small and so shy.
Yeah, and that's kind of where Bird can shine, right? Because the issue with the large zone is that Pen paints better than E-Leader. And that's just a basic fact. If Bake is the one left alive compared to Devin, Bake is going to have that fight won because of the paint that Pen has.
Yeah. That being said, though, one thing we have to note, one thing we have to say is that Sunshine is running a crab tank and Bird isn't. And Bird will need to get on top of that crab tank if they want to win the game. Because, in terms of range, in terms of 1v1 duel, Editor splats pencil. That's just how it's supposed to work. But that crab tank can create the space, can paint. It's basically half a pencil for your team. Because, it's just a better pencil, but not all the time. And the ability of Bird to punish that crab is likely to be what decides this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it also could come down. I was just gonna mention that it could come down to Devin playing E-Leader Scope. E-Leader Scope is a lot better at dealing with crab tanks. A lot easier to get that headshot kill. I know Devin can play the Scope variation, so this is exactly what I predicted. And like you said, not letting that crab tank get up. The 52 already running in off of opening.
I mean, both the 52 and the S-Blast will have extra fighting power, which will allow them to come and go fight, which they need to do. They need to keep Sunshine from setting themselves and getting their play going. Right now, it looks like Sunshine are punished on the zone. 3 down, it's only the pencil Bake that's kind of forced out of here. As now it's going to be on Bird to really hold strong. The strikes are punishing the jump, but oh well, Bird just lost a bit too many players. We're still quite in neutral. Neither team is really able to get a big lead.
Yeah, it has been a minute here, Pat, and it finally looks like we have a deciding factor for opening. Looks to be that Sunshine has finally won that opening, but they are still going down as we say that. But here's the infamous crab tank that we mentioned. Crab gonna try and hold on as long as they can. Unfortunately, they are getting shredded pretty quickly and most likely are going to perish here. Yeah, unfortunate there from Great, but it stalls out so they can hold onto this elbow. Very good pick there from Bake. Kiki gonna try and run in and try and punish that, but they're gonna have to look at this Luna Blaster from behind. Chrome trying to get that pick onto Ryu, but unfortunately gets picked off themselves. Booyah Bomb also coming out. It looks to be that lead flip is going to be into the favor of Bird here, Pat.
Yeah, Bird able to push forward, and the gal putting the wall onto the run, trying to force everybody from Sunshine to look at them. Sunshine are able to cap the zone, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that they can push their own ramp. They're not able to, and right there, the whole map is yellow. Everybody from Bird is on that ramp and going for the extra kill.
52 being a little bit greedy here, but that's okay because they have Aura. But unfortunately, like I said, they do go down. Aura is not like Tacticooler where you get that instant respawn. But speaking of Tacticooler, here's that one coming out from Sunshine. Gonna try and push back in with only 30 ticks remaining onto Bird's splat zone timer here. Chrome gonna try and make something happen with a distraction from behind. Is it enough? Is it enough? No, it doesn't look like it is. Tri-Strike's gonna come out to try and cap that small zone that we mentioned. The last limb here for Sunshine is that crab tank, but they unfortunately do go down, and it looks to be that Bird is going to be able to force that game 5.
Yes, we are going to that 5th game, but that 5th game is on a map that's chosen, that's picked by Sunshine, and that's going to be pretty important given what we've seen. These two teams play quite differently, and Sunshine, I feel like as long as they're able to go on a map where they know they can get back to mid, I feel like they like to fight into mid and they're good at it, so this could be good for them.
Yeah, and the thing is with Sunshine is that they have that map pick. This is a huge advantage for Game 5, Pat. And I think it will come down to the map pick. I think both teams outright are good, but they need to have a map pick that has themselves in mind as advantage. You need to go back to something like Mako Mart. You saw how dominant Sunshine was there. It really does come down to this map pick, in my opinion, Pat.
I agree, but the thing is, I'm looking at the list of the maps that can be picked, and I'm not sure. There's Museum, Umami, Barnacle, Crab Leg, and Robo Roman. I think they would go to Robo, but I'm not sure. And okay, they're going to Crab Leg. I guess they want to fight Bird on their own turf.
I'm thinking Bake is going to switch to E-Leader here. I think this E-Leader has been causing a lot of troubles. I think we're going to see that switch here. Game 5 adaptation. And adaptation is what makes the best teams. It is what makes diamonds. And I think that Bake is going to be the diamond in the rough here.
Adaptation makes diamonds. Take notes, everybody. That's a physics lesson for you.
Yeah.
But I'm not so sure, because what Sunshine could do is maybe they're counting on the fact that they have a crab. And the crab means they have 2 long-range options instead of 1. And that could be their strategy here, that the fact they have the crab tank allows them to play off of range a bit more. Of course, if they switch to the Elite, their splash kinda needs to switch to a zap, which means they lose that crab tank, and that crab has been key in them being able to hold ground. But I mean, let's stop speculating, let's start watching what these players do. No surprise on the side of Bird, and oh well, you called it. They do bring the Lita and the Zap.
E-Leader, Zap, and Crab Dread.
Yeah,
this is a very
still a crab.
interesting Tom.
Keeping a crab on the team is a good move for sure.
And especially with that double special charge up coming out from that crab tank and already getting one in the first 15 seconds. I think they did not want to lose that crab pat, but they wanted to have that E-Leader. But it's looking like it's paying off here. Yeah, look at all that charge up.
Whoa.
And 3 go down again. Oh my goodness, Bird is just getting annihilated right now.
Yeah, I mean, Sunshine's strategy is paying off right now. They're able to really take the control over the whole map, and I mean, it's Lita versus Lita, and there's a crab tank for Sunshine as well. There's simply more range options for Sunshine, and they're not stopping. Baki showing us who is the better sniper today, getting splat after splat after splat. And with 20 ticks left, what's happening, Ezio?
I mean, they have that charge strike, they have that Booyah Bomb in their back pocket, and they're gonna use both of them, but they don't get, like, any value from it. They're gonna have to get some fight. They have to win a fight here if they want to be able to cap the zone, and they do. Kiki runs in and gets 1, and that is 3 down on the side of Sunshine. It is now time for Bird to soar in and take advantage of this push that they have here.
Now, the big thing to note is that now that Sunshine no longer has a pencil, they're a bit slower in how they'll be able to push. So that's going to be a bit tougher for them to get back forward. They still have a huge lead, so they can wait, they can prepare as much as they want.
But no penalty, Pat. There is no penalty on the side of Bird, but as I say that, Commentator's Curse 2 go down here. Looks to be that a third's going to go down. It's just Kiki going to try and hold on to the back line here. Just trying to get a pick before they go out themselves, and they do get a crucial pick out of Bake. Like we mentioned before, Bake has been dominating this game so far, and it looks to be that they have that tacticaler at the ready. Bird's going to jump out, get a little bit of a reset going on here. They have the time, they have the numbers, they have the specials. It's time for a little bit of a reset.
Yeah, and that is Sunshine still holding 3 down onto Bird, and Sunshine so strong. I mean, I don't know what Bird can do right now. They need to push now. They don't have much time. The Booyah Bomb should come in time to be thrown at the zone, but they need all of his specials to hit. They need to feint the zone right now. They're not able to cap the zone, and they lost 2 players. That's game. Sunshine punches their ticket to Grand Finals.
What a set there. That was a very back and forth set there. Teams, take note. Sunshine did what they needed to do. They noticed that their team composition wasn't working. They were able to make the adaptations, and they weren't switching up completely. They still had a slosher player play a bucket. They still wanted that crab tank, so they played an option that had that crab tank that was also one of the main weapons. They wanted the E-Leader because it punishes the other team, and it's very good on this map mode, and they still needed the Tacticaler, so the shooter player plays Tacticaler. Overall, the adaptations are something that every team and every player can take note of.
Every team, and especially at that level, at the level of upper bracket finals of Triton-Cup, you need to be able to switch up your game. Doesn't necessarily mean that you need to change weapons, but you need to be able to do something different if you need to counter your opponent, and Sunshine did exactly that, both in their gameplay and their weapons. They were able to switch things up and make sure Bird Black could never be comfortable. Now, it's not over for Bird Black. They're going to go on to low bracket finals and have another shot at Grands. And we also are going to go on to lower bracket to show you a bit more. Semifinals is already waiting for us. We're going to take a short break so we can set up the lobby, and we'll be right back.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Triton-Cup number 141. Gee, there's a lot of these. I'm still Ezio, and I'm still joined by Pat, and we are in Losers Bracket semifinals with Everything Goes Numb versus Bill Collectors in brackets Kings.
Yep, and because it's lower bracket, it is a best of 3, the final best of 3 of this tournament, which has to feel like a lot of pressure. That's your tournament life right here between these two teams. And I mean, we have 3 very classic maps. Like these are 3 of the maps that we see the most right here on whether it's Triton or any tournament. We know these maps. These teams have played these maps over and over and over, and we'll see what they do. Okay, we see interesting combs coming on both sides right here. I see a bow, I see a dynamo, and a wiper. There's a lot to say here.
There's a lot to say, but we don't have time to say it. As the game is already beginning here. Soren's looking to take that angle from mid as Zog's playing that left side. Unfortunately, not going to be able to do anything quite yet with that pulling from Zog, but there we go. Able to get that pick from that pulling there from Zog, and 2, 3 go down on the side of Everything Goes Dumb here. Beautiful hammer there from Soren. Gonna try and get the 4th here. Does get the 4th. Nice little flick there onto Pika. Good kill there from Soren, and good opening from Bill Collectors.
Yeah, and that is Bill Collectors trying to hold the zone, but the instant retake by the Numb team that's able to put their bubbler on there and their sprinkler. They have now lots of control with the dynamo down. That's going to be harder for Bill Collectors to come, but here comes the Bill being collected with a hammer. Soren absolutely shredding everybody. I mean, Everything Goes Numb back from spawn.
Watch out, here comes the government collecting the bill for your life. Anyway, here we go. The Tri-Slasher running in here, gets that pick onto Ultra. Can't quite get the pick onto Zog. Zog try and get that pick onto the roller. Does manage to get that pick onto the roller. Looks to be that Bill Collectors is just kind of winning their mechanical fights here. And that's not how Numb wants to play. They want to be able to win those fights, but Taxes gets a huge pick there on a sword. Respawn punished as well. Those chumps are crucial for the retake of Numb, but they do not have them. Hammer coming out, getting another pick. It looks like Bill Collectors are gonna try and run away with this here with only 10 seconds remaining on the clock. Chumps are gonna probably come out in a last-ditch effort here, but unfortunately 2 go down and too little too late. Bill Collectors takes a very dominant game 1.
I mean, it was so fast, and everybody on the side of Bill Collectors were going for the jugular. They wanted to get the splats, and they really took control of the map by splatting their opponent over and over and over. Everything Goes Numb, not really able to hold their side of the map, not really able to stay in the positions they wanted, and they paid the price. They paid their bills right there.
Yeah, and Robo Ramen's a very good map for E-Leader. It's very open sight lines, very much like the last set we saw with the E-Leader maps with Mahi Mahi Resort. So that definitely paid into the favor of Taxes and Bill Collectors, of course. But we're going to go into Hagglefish Market, which is another flat open map, so I'm interested to see how that adaptation comes from Numb. If they're going to switch weapons, if they're going to stay, or if their playstyle is the only thing switching.
I mean, I felt like the bow is a weapon that works very well on Robo Roman, but on Hagglefish, the Eater is going to bully it even harder than it did on Robo. So, I mean, Everything Goes Numb needs to adapt. They need to switch things up. Either bring a charger themselves or have something to force that Elita to never be comfortable, to never be able to read charger shots and take control of the space.
I think we are going to go into the direction of disturb the E-leader, though, because Hawaiian, as far as I know, is a one-trick when it comes to playing bows. So they really like that tri-stringer, and they're probably one of the best in North America at the moment with it, in my opinion. And chumps, like I said, are good for splat zones, because you can cap a zone pretty quickly. And those chumps are probably the glue holding their comp together, but they need to change something to make that glue change a little bit too.
Yeah, I mean, you called it, the bow is coming back. The bill collector's not really changing their comp. It's been working, and on this map it's going to work even better. They're very happy to have that comp right now. And it's going to be on Everything Goes Numb to really have something to contest every position that the big bill collectors take.
Yeah, bill collectors are solo kill warriors, if you did not know. They like to win their mechanic fights, and that is most of their strategy. So if Numb can play a little bit slower, can play a little bit more coordinated, it really could work out in their favor. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like that's happening at the moment. Tika does get the trade, but unfortunately it goes down as the tactical weapon, which is not the best case scenario here, especially against an E-leader that can really stagger your team. But as I say that, their team starts to become staggered.
Yeah, and right there, Everything Goes Numb are going to take control of the zone. Not only control, the double bubbler on the zone means it's pretty much impossible for bill collectors to do anything, yet they have to wait, they have to regroup right there. But the Dynamo is to the side. Can that Dynamo get things going? No, it's punished by Mondi with Virginia. Beautiful plays by Everything Goes Numb. That's how you answer a game number one.
Yeah, very good job here from Numb here. They are just holding on to this place. This is where they want to be. They want to have paint on the floor for the roller to move around, and they want to have paint on the floor to prevent the Dynamo and Wiper from really running in. But as I say that, a lot of paint suddenly goes onto the floor there for bill collectors, managing to cap that zone. But it looks to be that Everything Goes Numb is still going to be able to hold on with that bubbler coming out from Mondi.
And Everything Goes Numb with another bubbler, and now the whale to force their opponent to move a bit more. It's 2 down on bill collectors, and Numb are simply holding strong and getting more and more presence. But with a few losses of players, they're going to have to move a bit away from the zone. Can bill collectors get back in there? They have the Wiper plays to take the zone.
Yeah, Wiper gonna go in onto this left side here. Wiper's very good at pulling attention and getting picks as well. Soren looking like an MVP so far, but unfortunately goes down to a curling bomb.
Yeah, the curling bomb gets them, but the rest of the team was able to play off of that beautiful move by Soren. That's bill collectors now in control of the zone. I mean, they have a lot of momentum. None needs a big push right there. Oh, 2 versus 1. The Elita left standing to try to hold. The jumps are coming in, but too late. None keeps the lead.
Yeah, they keep the lead, and they get that double bubble as well out, so they have a lot of space here. This is their game plan. The bubble, then get the paint down. And it's working beautifully right now, as they don't really have much penalty left on the clock here, Pat.
Yeah, they are doing better and better. Bill collectors completely punished. They lost their front line right there, and that's Numb simply able to paint over the zone, wait for the opponent. With Virginia on the zone right there, it's going to be hard for bill collectors, but 3 down. It's only the bow. Bill collectors are not done. 1.5 minutes left in the game. They have plenty of time to come back, Ezio.
Yeah, they have plenty of time to come back, especially with that penalty only being down to 30 here. So they have to make something quick if they want to get back in here for Numb. They have that tactical cooler at the ready. They do pop it, but unfortunately the Junior is staggered. That's a lot of their pink on there, Pat.
Yeah, and that is bill collectors getting rid of their penalty going into the last minute. None needs to push right now if they want to avoid the loss, if they want to avoid the KO. They are to the side with a Tri-Slasher. Nobody saw the Tri-Slasher coming, but the Dynamo shuts it down. Zone is neutral right there, but the bill collectors are still able to pull through. That is 2-0.
The bill collectors managed to collect their W, hoping to keep on going through the tournament here with a beautiful Game 2 comeback, managing to win the set there. I gotta say, Soren played amazing both of those games. Wiper really hasn't had its opportunity in a while to shine, and I think Soren's doing an amazing job proving that Wiper can still come back into this meta.
Yeah, and one thing to note is these two teams, they met in the upper bracket. And it went to a game 5 with everything goes numb, winning 3-2. So, I mean, these two teams were close, but it looks like bill collectors learned from their defeat, were able to come back stronger and get their W, which means they are now qualified to the lower bracket finals, where they will meet the Black Bird.
Yep, like I mentioned, adaptation makes diamonds, but we're gonna adapt our way into a little bit of a break here as we wait for the lower bracket finals to set up. But don't go anywhere, we got plenty of good Splatoon left.
And we are back with Triton-Cup 141, and we get to watch two teams we've seen already. On the one side, we have the bill collectors. We just saw them be very fast, be all around. But on the other side, it's our seed number one of the tournament, as your Bird Black. Please use your words when you make a team name. And yeah, but I mean, they're not good at giving us names, but they're good at playing the game.
Yeah. And you know what? Sometimes playing the game's more important. No, it's not.
Is it?
Please give us a good name. Please give us a good name.
You can do both.
You can do both. It's not. But but we are going to be seeing some pretty high quality gameplay from both these teams. Like we said before, like Pat said before, we have seen both of these teams already, so we know we're in for a good treat. Bill Collectors, seed 4, well, Bird Black Box or whatever is seed number 1, and we're going into Barnacle and Dime Splat Zones to start us off.
Yeah, a map that both of these teams have picked, and I mean, we're going to see an Elite duel on a wide flat map, so that's what we need to prepare ourselves for. We know it's going to happen. One thing for sure, Ezio, on this map, if a team is able to take control to set themselves in front of the zone, they score 50 points for free. And it's so hard and so slow to come back onto the map. That's going to be the big thing to pay attention to.
Yeah, and I think the big thing here for Bird team is going to be being able to play the game, I guess.
Yep.
Okay, what I was gonna say is the big thing for Bird here is that they can play off of the separation that Bill Collectors is going to have. Bill Collectors is a team composition that wants to play very much of pulling. They want the Wiper to pull a certain area with the Blaster and Dynamo, or Leader, to capitalize off of the attention that one player is taking from the other team. But another thing that is good with the replay is that we get a sneak peek at the weapons, Pat.
Yeah, well, about that. It looks like one weapon is going to change, because it seems like Bird Black just lost one of their players. Kiki is no longer answering, and they're going to be looking for a sub.
That's just lovely. Great, but okay. 3 out of the 4 weapons are hopefully gonna be somewhat similar.
Yeah.
So we can talk about the strategies. We know for sure Build Collectors is gonna be pretty much the same, because that's been the same team comp that we've been seeing the entire time. I don't really think they're gonna change based off of the sub that's coming in for Kiki.
Yeah, and Bill Collectors, they have the kind of composition that's really good for a pickup. You know, but as you said, they are solo queue warriors. They have the weapons that can work well together to really create the opportunities. You have very aggro players that want to go in, that can create opportunities, especially we've seen Soren with the Wiper being incredibly dangerous, but constantly going in over and over onto the opponent. And then on the backline, we have a strong Elita, a Dynamo that can shut down the opponent pretty fast, and also provide the tactical for the whole thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's something that works well as a pickup, and we'll see if the Bill Collectors can make it work against Bird Black. It looks like a sub has been acquired, and yeah, it's going to be Silver from EZMD, very strong Stamper player.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Bill Collectors, you said, is a pickup, but actually they're not. Bill Collectors is the team called Kings. I don't know if you're too familiar with them. They have been a team since like 5 months ago, 6 months ago now. It's been a long time. But they decided to go under the name Bill Collectors for this. It's not even like they have a sub. It's their exact roster. So I don't know what the situation is here with naming teams on both sides.
Maybe they're shy.
They don't want to get resulted, you know. No, but they do have that chemistry. So it isn't just a pickup of Solo Queue Warriors. They do have the chemistry.
Yeah, well, it works. What works as a pickup works as a full team as well. And I mean, right there, we have the new Bird Black with Silver. Silver with the Stamper will have a bit more range and a bit more ways to fight the opponent. Stamper is a good counter to Wiper, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a very good counter to Wiper, but as I mentioned earlier with that pulling, Zog able to pull a lot of people's attention on that left side and actually managed to get 2 picks off of it, and then Soren and Ultra were able to capitalize off of it and get them 3 down, and it looks to be, like you said, Pat, that first little push is going to get you 30 points at least, and it looks to be that Bill Collectors is going to get that first push.
Yeah, and right now, that's 2 versus 2. Onto the zone, but Bill Collectors are able to hold their ground to keep themselves very much in control, and they're ahead of the zone. They're on that platform. They're past the 60 points mark. Bird just lost 2 players still. I mean, they're not able to push in, Ezio.
No, they're not able to push in. This is a very lockout heavy map of the likes like Eeltail. But it is not quite going to be enough here, as it looks like Soren is just able to win that fight against the Stamper. The matchup doesn't matter if you're just simply better at mechanics, and it looks to be that Bill Collectors is going to take the game number 1 in a very dominant fashion.
Yeah, I mean, Bird Black are seen number 1. I mean, they just had to swap in a player, which is always kinda can get you off balance. We don't know if Silver was warmed up before jumping in the lobby, but right there it looked pretty rough for Bird Black. They got pushed out, and then it felt like they were staggered, like they were not able to really coordinate a push back onto the zone.
Yeah, the thing is with Stamper as well, like you said, those warm-up games, those are important with Stamper. Stamper is one of the hardest weapons to learn on a base level. Now imagine trying to do that at top level in Triton-Cup lower bracket finals. Like, that is hard to do. But we're gonna have a counter pick coming out from Bird Black, so that might change things a little bit.
Yeah, Bird Black will be able to go to a map they like, something where they can feel comfortable and retake their composure. And one thing we need to note is this Splatoon is a game that's also a mental game where you have to know what to do, how to do it. And right there, Bird Black just lost a teammate who was still in the lobby, by the way. We put them on spectator so we can get on with the games, because they were just AFK and not here. And yeah, like it's just Bird Black needed to adapt to that, needed to make sure they could make all of that work. Now, I mean, they had now they no longer have an excuse though. They have played the warm-up game. They need to make things work now.
Hopefully Kiki is alright, but I think they're taking their chances here with waiting just a little bit longer to see if Kiki can get back here in time. But it looks to be that they've made up their mind. They're heading over to Brine Water Springs once again.
Yeah, I mean, Brine Water was very good for them during the upper bracket finals, so it's no surprise that they're coming back to it. This is a map that they know how to play off, and it's also a map that is good for Stamper with Zipcaster, so I mean, all good for them. It looks like the kind of map where they can get momentum, where they can get confidence.
Yeah, and like you said, Saber's really good here, so that switch out with Silver and Kiki actually does benefit Bird Black here. That Zipcaster are going to be very crucial to move that E-leader, but speaking of Stamper, they unfortunately do go down, but they do get a pick on Zog, who is just a little bit overextended there. And it looks to be that Bill Collectors is going to try and go in with that hammer. Doesn't quite get anything. They're all clumped up in that corner here from Bird Black. Silver just going in with that Zipcaster from behind, just going to cause a little bit of distraction and break up their numbers here.
And right there, Bird are able to take control of the zone. But there's still a few Bill Collectors around. I mean, Soren with the Wiper is always doing something, being dangerous. He's going to be splatted. The hammer will not get the liquidation, the splat right there. And that's Bird now with the lead, getting more and more points and forcing Bill Collectors to wait a bit.
Yeah, Bill Collectors is going to have to wait a little bit, but they can't wait too long here. Ultra, unfortunately, does go down here. There's only 40 ticks remaining, and Zog going in to go try to get that splashdown off, but gets canceled before it can even go up. Now there's only 25 ticks remaining, and they're already 2 down. They're very staggered here, Pat, and it looks to be that this tactical is going to keep up the pressure here for Bird Black, but 2 go down once again. It's going to be a fight here for zone, and Wipeout Bill Collectors managing to hold on.
Yeah, big wipeout by the Bill Collectors right there. They're able to go and get so much. The hammer missing despite the points, and so it's unfortunate. Bird will be able to get some momentum, some presence. At least they have control over their own ramp right now, but they still have to fight for the zone as all of Bill Collectors are respawning and getting back in position.
Yeah, it looks to be that Bird is going to be able to cap that zone, so it gives them a little bit of more leeway here, but Soren going to take that fight against Silver, manages to win that fight, and 3 are down again here off of Bird. Yeah. It looks to be that Bill Collectors, once they have a foothold, they are very confident in winning their fights and very confident in holding those positions, Pat.
Bill Collectors, they always find a way to move forward, to go in and wreak some havoc. I mean, that's a trade right there by Soren, and that trade is enabling the rest of the team to get more splats. Look at that, there's so much blue on the map. Bird have the lead, but if they can't find a way back to the zone very, very fast, that lead is not going to hold.
Yeah, both of these teams going to have to make a last-ditch effort fight here. Zog gets 1 pick, trying to get a second. Can't get a second, but the Wave Breaker coming in clutch there. Manages to get that pick. There's only 5 seconds remaining. This Booyah Bomb is going to be crucial, but it looks like it'll be a little bit too late. Just a couple frames off, and Bill Collectors managing to go up 2-0.
2-0 for the Bill Collectors. Our seed number 1, Bird Black. It feels like they're really finding a team that they don't know how to play around, and that makes sense. You know, Bird Black, they like to hold their ground, they like to be in control and not move once they have taken some space. But Bill Collectors, they don't care at all. Against a Wiper, you're never safe. That Wiper will always be where you don't want them to be.
Yeah, and like I said with the team composition from Bill Collectors, their strategy is to pull attention. A lot of Bird Black's weapons aren't good at quickly dealing with this attention or quickly dealing with it after they ignore it for a little bit. So Bill Collectors is able to play this comp to how they designed it to be played, and it's going to be a very big advantage for them, especially on maps like Brinewater and Barnacle that have these flank routes. Maps that are very good for Bird Black are even better for Bill Collectors, so that makes it harder for Bird Black to, you know, make a counter pick.
I mean, Bird Black needs to just be able to either completely stop the flow of the Bill Collectors constantly jumping onto the map and getting into fights with them, or need to, I mean, just match that kind of pace and stop trying to simply hold their ground and play a bit more dynamic. Right there. If they don't do so, they're going to be out of the tournament. Right now, it's 2-0 for the bill collectors, and one more game would be the end for the birds.
One more loss and it's all over. But like I said, they're just taking attention. And I think what Bird needs to do is they need to take advantage of that one player being branched off for the rest. They need to have those 4 players move in on the 3 and converge onto that area that isn't there. But we're going to Crab Lake, and Crab Lake is definitely going to be better for the Birds. Yes, there's those left and right pits, but they're not going to be able to do much off of those.
The big important thing about Crab Lake is, yes, you can drop back onto the map, but you have to drop pretty much where the Elita can see you, and that Elita will be key into keeping Soren and Zog from going back onto the map right there. But let's go. Last chance for Bird Black. They need to get that W if they want to stay in Triton-Cup.
Yeah, and it looks to be that Silver's making a little bit of an adaptation there with Zipcaster being swapped out for that Booyah Bomb. Booyah Bomb a lot better on splat zones, and Zipcaster really does struggle against Dynamo Roller. So, but speak of the devil, Dynamo Roller able to get that pick and an assist with Zog here onto Silver, and it looks to be that Bill Collectors has got a foothold once again.
They have these good fights. I mean, you were talking about their ability mechanically to simply go in and win the fights. We see that in the openings, already past the 50 points mark, and what? They be just shredding.
Zog is just being a dog. Aura coming out once again, and that Booyah Bomb looks to be a little bit of a panic button there. They did not want to lose that fight, and that means they don't have that for retake. But they do manage to get that pick onto Ultra. That's a huge pick. But as I say that in the same breath, another 2 go down here from Blackbird. They need to go in now, and they need to do it quickly. They need to get something going. But Silver goes down to Taxes. But another one goes down, Devin, with a huge shot. They're going back and forth, trying to paint the zone. There's 2 ticks remaining. They need to win this fight here. But Sora comes in from behind. Does get one. But Silver jumps in and gets the kill. Silver trying to hold on to zone as long as they can, but they can't do it. Bill Collectors manages to win this set 3-0, punching their ticket into Grand Finals.
They didn't punch their tickets into Grand Finals. They obliterated their tickets right there. It was an incredible 3-0 by the Bill Collectors. I mean, that's quite the statement, Ezio.
That is quite the statement. That was very well played from Bill Collectors. Like we mentioned beforehand, the ability to just win fights is so unnoticed when it comes to the higher levels of play. You just need to win these fights. Your coordination, yes, that's important. Your specials, yes, that's important. Your composition, yes, it's all important. But if you just simply don't win the fights, then none of that matters. All of it's thrown out the window. Bill Collectors has prioritized winning their fights because they have been playing solo queue for so long, so they just win.
Yep.
But But it looks to be that we're going to be following them once again for the 3rd set in a row into Grand Finals.
Exactly. They will get to fight Sunshine for the Grand Finals of this Triton-Cup tournament. We'll be right back after a short break.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Grand Finals of Triton-Cup 141. We have Sunshine, we have Bill Collectors, two teams that have proven their worth to get to Grand Finals. I'm still Ezio, and Pat is still Pat, and here we are.
Yes, we are here, and I'd like to point out that before, as the lobby was being made, Sunshine was congratulating Bill Collectors in Sendu chat for their upset victory and being like, oh yeah, good games, it's a pleasure to see you. So we have good sportsmanship here between the two teams, which we love to see. We love to see teams happy to meet each other and have a good time. But now, Ezio, it's time to watch the games. Both of these teams have put Barnacle on their list. This is what we will start the grand finals with, and then we'll move on to the counter pick.
Of course, we start our Barnacle. Barnacle is a map that E-Leader players love, but as the screen suggests, Grand Finals, we saw Bill Collectors did an amazing job on this map in the previous set, and we're seeing a little bit of a change from Sunshine with the V-Dualies.
Yeah, V-Dualies. I mean, Crab is still a good special, and V-Dualies can work quite well, especially against an E-Liter. You can dodge that liter with a dodge roll, and that gives you an extra way to fight it, and I think that's a good move by Sunshine.
Yeah, but speaking of Sunshine doing... Never mind, I was gonna say speaking of Sunshine doing good, but it looks like Bill Collectors are making me eat my words here. Soren going in, does get a couple picks here, and that distraction is enough for Ultra to capitalize off it and get that pick onto that Luna Blaster, but looks like Sunshine's not going to back up just yet here. Zog running in, going to try and get that pick onto Bake, can't quite get that pick onto Bake, and it looks to be that Sunshine is going to try and hold back on to the zone for a little bit longer.
Yeah, they have their control, but the Bill Collectors are the one trying to move forward, trying to maintain their presence, their aggressivity, and Bill Collectors holding strong. We see the Dynamo right here, simply keeping a lot of paint on the zone. The splashdown will be enough to take the zone.
But there is a slosher from behind, and never mind, they get picked off. An amazing fight win there from Bake. That really does turn the tides there. Soren manages to get that kill. Their whole comp would be in disarray. But it looks to be that Sunshine is going to be able to hold on to this with that crab tank that we mentioned that has been so crucial for this team. And the penalty is now gone, and Bill Collectors is really starting to stagger here, Pat.
Yeah, I mean... It's easy to collect the bill when you're in mid and getting splat, but right now Bill Collectors, they need to mount a push, and against a team like Sunshine, it's It's not easy right there. Bake forced to jump out because the wall was not painted enough. They're still coming back onto the zone. Bill Collector's able to get there, but the splashdown was not enough to cap it. Only the Dynamo. And that's a wipeout. Game number 1 goes to Sunshine. I mean, Bill Collectors opened strong, got a good fight, but once Sunshine were back in, they didn't let go.
Yeah, that's the one thing that really struggles when it comes to the Bill Collectors comp. Retake. Yeah. Retake is very difficult when you're playing a composition that revolves around pulling, which is why you want to never get wiped. And as soon as Bill Collectors got wiped and started to stagger, they fell apart. And that is the one thing you need to prevent, which is also very hard on Barnacle. Barnacle, as most people know, is a very steamroll, snowball, lockout heavy map. Which is very good if you're the team that's winning. But if you're losing, it's a very different story.
Yeah, for sure. That's but that's only game 1, Azure. We still have more to go. But Sunshine, who are on the upper side, who only need to win 1 set, just got the first game and are really reminding us why they are on the upper side. Bill Collectors, they showed us a few good moves. They were able to do things pretty well, but they were not able to push back onto the map when it mattered the most. So I expect them to go to something where they will have more opportunities to push.
For sure. And they're also probably going to go something to where Elite's more favored. Because, like we saw the previous set of Winners Finals, Bake can't play Elia. But they prefer to play Pencil. And that preference really does affect, as you mentioned before, mental. Mental is very important. And you'd rather be on a weapon that's more comfortable and more familiar to you than a weapon that, yes, you may be good at, but it's not the weapon that is your best and you're the most comfortable and you know the ins and outs of.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like the counter pick has been chosen. The Bill Collectors go on to Crab Leg Capital. I mean, they beat Blackbird on this map and they were looking pretty good doing it. So now they're going to try to beat Sunshine on here as well.
Yeah, but on the flip side, Sunshine also had a very dominant game against Blackbird on Crab Legs. So we'll see if it came down to either Blackbird being not the best or comfortable on that map, or if Bill Collectors and Sunshine are really good at this map mode. So it is very interesting, but I do think Sunshine has the simple comp advantage when it comes to this, but the momentum from Bill Collectors from that previous set could transfer over.
Hey, Crab Leg was the map where we saw Bake to switch to the leader with the Dreadringer too. Yep, that was the comp for Sunshine. They will have the range. They're very much ready. That's an incredibly strong comp for this map. Very, very dangerous and powerful. So yeah, we'll see how these two teams do right there. It looks like Sunshine is opening strong.
Yeah, Crab Tank coming out in the first 10 seconds. The Crab Tank's so strong on this map. And to be honest, the more you get, the better. And it looks to be that Sunshine is living by that philosophy, having the 2 mains of special charge up on a Dreadringer. But it looks to be that Bill Collectors, unfortunately, is going down, is unfortunately losing this opening fight here. And speak of Crab Tank, there is another one. And Bake is proving that not only is the Crab Tank going to be an issue.
Yeah, Sunshine very much able to hold control of their side of the map. Bake being attacked, Bake not carrying, Bake in the opponent spawn. But how's Bake? Okay, I think Bake is still there. Bake is still there. Bake, what are you doing? Get out!
That guy does manage to get that jump out, but it was a lot of attention. But Zong managed to win that fight in mid with like a 1v3. So we're going back to out mechanics. If you just win fights, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Zong just managed to win that fight, and now they're able to hold on to that zone with no penalty, and they only need half their timer remaining to go ahead and take the lead here from Sunshine.
Bill Collectors on the zone. They have the hammer ready to defend the crab tank by Sunshine. Is going to create some space, but not enough space. It looks like Bill Collectors are still able to hold the map, but they lose. The players, they got the lead, but that's all they got. It's a wipeout in favor of Sunshine. And Sunshine, look at that, they're all running through that bridge. Incredibly strong crab. The crab is punished, but that allowed the rest of the team to go in. Now, I mean, Sunshine just took a lot of risk going so far in, but Bill Collectors are still stuck on their platform.
Yeah, that is the good thing about Tactical. You can make plays like that, and you can get punished, and you can still come back. And speaking of coming back here, they managed to take that lead. Another crab tank coming out here on this left side, immediately getting shredded, though, by Taxes. And it looks to be that there's 15 seconds left. Last-ditch effort going to be coming out from Bill Collectors, but both the people who had specials unfortunately die. But Taxes gets a crucial double, but it's too late. Sunshine managing to go up 2-0.
And in while Taxes was getting a double, everybody else from Sunshine was still punishing the push from Bill Collectors and getting more and more and more. And it is now 2-0 for Sunshine, who are looking even stronger than ever. And right now, just one game away from being your Triton-Cup champions.
Sunshine looking for that gold like in the morning. They want to close this out. They want to close it out pretty quickly here, but it is still in the favor of Bill Collectors when it comes to the map picks. That's the thing that can keep people in it. And like I said before, momentum can be key. Sunshine has this momentum of 2-0 in the set right now. But Bill Collectors probably still has a little bit of that riding high from beating that team in losers finals.
I mean, now that's always the hardest part in a tournament, when you are just back to the wall, facing elimination. This is the hardest moment for a team. Some teams play better when they're in that position, but it takes a lot to handle that kind of pressure right there. Bill Collectors, they need to make it work. They need to change something. They need to adapt, and they need a very, very good counter pick if they want to beat Sunshine.
Yeah, but you know what I say? Adaptability and pressure makes diamonds. And it looks to be, it looks to be that Bill Collectors is hoping to collect some bills that have a lot of diamonds onto them. But they're really taking their time here. They really don't want to mess it up.
We're going to the market to collect the bill. It's going to be Hagglefish that has been selected by the Bill Collectors. So yeah, that's it. It's going to be the big question. And I mean, it's another long-range map, which, yes, Bill Collectors, you have a good long-range play, but so does Sunshine. I feel like Bill Collectors, they're going with the maps that they are comfortable with, and they don't really take into account what Sunshine likes.
Yeah, like I said with Bake on Pencil, sometimes just that comfort is way better than an actual strategy. And Hagglefish is a map where you can get by just winning your mechanic fights. Like, you can flank and kill 2 or 3, and that could be your whole strategy. Hagglefish is very good at splitting up the other team, and with that comes a composition that is very good at playing off of that split, and that is Bill Collectors. So this is a very good pick for them, but no more speculation. It is match, set, and tournament point for for Sunshine here.
Yep.
Game number 3. Let's get into it.
Yeah, we see the V-Julies coming back, but also a 96 Gal. That will be a vacuum for Sunshine. They have a bit of special charge up. They really want to play off of that vacuum, and honestly, we've seen vacuum be stronger and stronger these last few months, and I mean, I love it. Look at that. You have vacuum, you can just walk across the map and then deliver a big explosion.
Yeah, Vacuum has been seeing a lot of resurgence here, and honestly, it is invincibility, but it is pretty good for the game. It requires a lot of team play, and that is what Sunshine is really capitalizing off of right now. They're very good at these team plays, but as I say that, Bill Collectors manages to get a team play going, and they get a couple picks. I would like to see them take elbow here, but they unfortunately did not quite do that.
Yeah, Bill Collectors in control of the zone right there and able to get 2 splats, including the open and backline. That's huge. Sunshine not really able to set themselves for momentum right there. Grape is to the side. That will allow Sunshine to get some attention away, but the attention is no longer there. The vacuum is the last trying to hold, but it's not working. 3 down. Bill Collectors. It's not just a comeback that they're getting here. They're controlling this game completely.
Yeah, Soren really proven to be the MVP, especially on this map mode, as they get a torque pick onto that pen. Very good kill there. Crab Tank going to be a little bit of a last-ditch effort here coming out from Sunshine, but it looks to be too little too late. Bill Collectors on the start of some momentum.
That's a game. That's a great game by the Bill Collectors. They really found the map where they were able to create the surprise, where they were able to punish what Sunshine was doing. And it looks like Sunshine, their switch to the vacuum. Yeah, it's a strong special, but Sunshine, what they were doing before was working, and they switched to something that didn't.
Yeah, and it was also a slosher that switched. That's the issue, like I mentioned in Winners Finals. If you're switching up your comp, you want to be switching to stuff that is somewhat similar. You don't want your whole playstyle to change. The playstyle between Slosher and Vac 96 is very different. Yes, you can make that adaptation, and yes, you could be good at both weapons, but making that adaptation in Grand Finals Game 3 where you can win the entire tournament, I don't know if that is a choice that should have been made.
Yeah, right there for sure. That's I mean, Sunshine can afford to lose games. That's the thing we need to remind ourselves as well. Sunshine is still winning and on the upper side, and now they get to choose the next map, and it would be the next 2 maps even if they lose this one. That's the game starting now. They're back to the Dreadringer with Crab Tank. They will have a lot of range, a lot of presence, and yeah, we'll see if Bill Collectors can fight off this comp. Wait, it's double Crab on the side of Sunshine, I just noticed.
Yeah, that double Crab. Crab is really destroying this side of Bill Collectors, so why not add another, you know? But as I say that, Crab getting destroyed by Soren, and Soren just managing to get 3 once again. And now they're going to have this elbow, and elbow is so crucial, especially for a team like Bill Collectors that want to play with this split attention. So this is a very good spot, but as I say that, they have a couple specials ready for Sunshine, and 1 goes out, 2 goes out, and 3 go down on the other side of Bill Collectors.
Yeah, Sunshine, really strong. They have their presence now. They just lost 2 players though, and Bill Collectors simply moving back in. Always the aggressivity, always going in for the fight, punishing the Crab Tank. Beautiful move by Zorg on the blaster for the Bill Collectors. And Bill Collectors are maintaining the space, are maintaining the presence. Another splashdown to push Sunshine out.
Yeah, Sunshine and Rainbows is not what's happening right now, as the penalty is gone from Bill Collectors, but that Crab Tank coming out again. That's the thing with having 2 of them. You're always going to have one. But That crab tank is gone with the hammer from Sword. And speaking of hammers, it is hammer time from Chrome. Trying to get a second one, can't quite do it. But it looks to be that they're able to cap the zone and put a huge penalty on the back of Build Collectors.
Yeah, and that Sunshine, they got the penalty on, but they're not really able to get more than that. The Bill Collectors get back control. It feels like every single time Sunshine manages to get ground, to push Bill Collectors out, Bill Collectors come back stronger, get more splats, and get back control.
Yeah, Taxes is doing an amazing job of holding on whenever they get members down. Every single time Sunshine starts to push in, Taxes manages to get a pick or two. And that is really keeping them into this game. The penalty's gone, but they only managed to get one extra point. But that doesn't matter. This is a low penalty. Taxes gets another pick when they're trying to push in. And there's another one. What did I say? Taxes doing an amazing job keeping them alive.
Yeah, and right there, Bill Collectors, thanks to Taxes, will be able to push back forward. They're taking their time to get back the zone. They know they have some time. Wait, they just lost their leader, but they're still able to reapply penalty. Soren throwing the hammer to make sure their opponents have to move. Sunshine kind of forced to wait a little bit more. They were able to score some good points, but they need more than that. They want to win this game, and there's only 2 minutes left.
Yeah, it feels like Bill Collectors is all having their own separate MVP moments, while Sunshine is playing more together as a team. And that is really beneficial when it comes to a long game like this. Sunshine is now going to have no penalty in a couple seconds here. Yep. And Zog's going to try and push in. Same with Ultra. But as soon as that MVP moment is gone, the lead is gone as well. And Sunshine is looking in a very good position that could potentially carry them for the rest of the way.
Yeah, more and more points for Sunshine right now. The Bill Collectors need to get their push going. The hammer is being thrown, but the hammer only cancels the crab. They don't have enough paint. Sunshine get the W. They are your Triton-Cup champions.
Sunshine chasing after that silver, not that silver. Oh my god, I messed up one. Sunshine chasing after that gold spear, and they managed to get the gold and looked into the sun. And that was a pretty good game from both teams. I will have to admit, Bill Collectors played that beautifully, but like I said, Pat, that long game is more beneficial when you have team coordination compared to separate MVP plays.
Yeah, I mean, that's the difference between silver medal and gold medal right there. Sunshine really taking control. Bill Collectors showed us a good game, but Sunshine was on a different level tonight. Really taking a full ownership of the zone, and even when Bill Collectors were able to get good momentum in that last game, Sunshine at the end were able to break them and hold stronger. And I mean, that's the risk, you know, when you run the kind of comp that Bill Collector does. You rely on your ability to win the next fight. If you don't win the next fight, you're in a rough spot.
And pulling attention as well is another big thing that Bill Collectors needed to do, but unfortunately they just didn't quite play their sides enough. But speaking of things that start with S, I think we need to say our socials and get out of here. Very well played from both teams. Pat, where can the people find you?
It's written on your screen. You can find me on Blue Sky. It's written right there. Yeah, don't have to say it. Well, how about you, Ezio?
Yeah, mine's also on the screen. I did not quite notice that until right now. Both Blue Skies.
And our job is made much easier thanks to CKK, our observer, who had to fight Joy-Con drift and a lot to show us these games.
Yeah, thank you, CKK, and thank you, the viewer and the players, for playing and watching. And that is us signing out. Hope you all have a good night. Sunshine, your winners for Triton Cup 141.